Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Cloud Ninja Podcast. Today we're joined with our regular co-host today, of course, my guy Free Game Nino the Third, my guy Black Lucia, aka Damien and Five, could be Damien and Four, and my guy Ryzen. Damn, I always think I'm going to lead into the applause. I always think that.
We haven't had
maybe it's the
applause in
last
months,
pod.
man.
Messing me up. All right, so I'm pretty sure you guys know what this pod is. Chapter 35 leaks just dropped. We all know what's going on here. My guy Free Game hasn't went through the spoils yet, so I think it could be a good time for us to actually go through the spoils, which you guys pretty much go through what we like about it and probably some of the things we dislike about it. Me personally, right? I got some stuff to say about this one.
You didn't like? Okay, go ahead. Yeah, we gonna go about it.
Overall, but there's some things. There's some things
That you didn't like about it.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting. I don't hate the chapter, but it feels like we've been thrown two different setups.
Yeah.
From chapter 34 to 35, which is cool. Like, I think we needed this to happen. It's just, it feels like there's so many plot lines that are about to crash into each other in the next potential few chapters that I'm really interested to see. But I have the chapter up here so everyone can know what we're actually talking about. And we can go panel for panel to get everyone's thoughts on this. Hidari is kind of the lead. We have him on the chapter cover. We also got that little Sarada-esque trailer. So it seems like they're going, at the very least, guns blazing into this Hidari arc.
Yeah, 100%. And to be honest, there's a few steps for the Hidari arc. You guys were talking about how there's multiple different storylines coming together. I mean, this Hidari thing, Sarada might get brought right towards Hidari. But the conversation while we get into it.
That has to be what it's playing. But yeah, are we going to start with our thoughts, or are we just going to go panel by panel and just break it down like that?
Well, panel by panel first, and then we could probably give our review afterwards. So Free Game could be involved as well.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
So we have our little chapter cover, and what I like about the Japanese versions is they always have these little text blurbs, which we kind of lose them in the English version. So up top they say a brief moment of peace for Konoha. What does Amado call Kawaki for? And then we have Hidari, and I'm sorry, but I can't.
With the feet.
His feet?
The hands, the feet for hands is riling me up. It's just funny.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie though.
crazy.
Hidari snatching chains this chapter because it looks like to me, nigga Jura trying to get on his good side. He's trying to impress Hidari.
I mean, let's be honest though.
Let's get there.
I mean, Hidari's not doing anything Sasuke wouldn't do, so it kind of makes me think. So let's see.
Funny.
We start out with page 1. Hidari, the monster that was born alongside Jura, the seeker of love. How do the two of them interpret Mamushi's death? So we start off
the seeker of love.
So we start off right into their reaction of Mamushi's death. So Jura starts off by saying, Mamushi is dead. While pursuing his instincts, he burned with passionate lust until nothing of him remained. Now that I think about it, each of the divine trees did have some form of love. In Matsuri's case, hers was romantic love. Mamushi, he was just a perv, so like that's an understatement. Yes. What's Shinki's divine tree name? Ryu. I don't really have a hand now. Could we call that parental love? Because we haven't really seen, like, he wasn't around for too long.
The respect that he showed Jura, that can be like what you can say, because he was like, he always referred to Jura as like a higher authority.
Ooh, that is right.
That would
like
be like the closest
upperclassmen.
thing. Yeah, so he truly, truly respected his elders, but he really, really revered Jura.
Yeah,
I like that.
So, he. What?
I was just gonna go to the next page.
Oh yeah, I guess the overall idea. But we could finish reading it. We could read it first.
Oh no, you can say your thought first.
I was about to say the overall idea behind this is a question we've all had. Pretty much, they're questioning why was Hidari the person who was actually saved and not the rest of the Shinju, and of course they're continuing to talk about Mamushi right here. But the overall thought being, Mamushi wasn't saved in time, and Hidari basically asks him later on, "Hey, why did you save me?" And Jura didn't necessarily have like a stable answer. I thought that was kind of interesting because again, these are things we've been questioning for months now.
You're funny. He said, "I don't know, bro. Maybe I just would have been lonely."
I mean,
he's literally hilarious, bro.
I mean, if you think about it, of course it's the Uchiha who gets close with a humanoid tailed beast. I mean, you have Sasuke and Uchiha, Naruto, the human vessel of 9 tails. You have the incarnation of 10 tails with a version of an Uchiha. So it feels like
Now,
Sasuke's
now
right
that you
at
mentioned
home.
that, I did remember I saw a thread like the other day on Twitter about this connection with Jura and Hidari and how it equates to basically like a Naruto and Sasuke type of thing. Because Jura basically said like, bro, yeah, I'm not helping the other Shinju, but I can't explain why I helped you. But nigga, it might be a lonely world without you, Hidari. So I don't know. It's funny
And
though.
for better or worse, Uchihas have always been connected to tailed beasts to some extent. You have Jura who's looking for Naruto, and on the flip side, you have Hidari who is an incarnation of Sasuke, who had that close relationship to Naruto, who
Uh-huh.
has the tailed beast. So it's really interesting. And reminder, the divine trees have the personality traits of their hosts. It's just they have no inhibitions. So this isn't something Sasuke wouldn't do, which is even funnier.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Sasuke still has plot armor, so I guess.
Oh, 100%. He's the token Uchiha. Like, we can't let you come back. You gotta stay. you
Of
gotta
course.
stay. You gotta stay with the enemy.
It's plot armor confirmed.
Or not. Or maybe not.
Nah, Hidari got plot armor. Because
Yeah.
he even
Now.
said he was like, well, is it on the next page? Because we are we done with this panel?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, we can just read through it real quick. So Jura says, despite being warped, I suppose this is another form of love. The way he lived his life, the way in which he wished to prosper as a member of the Shinju species, I felt as though I could understand a bit of his passion as well. On the other hand, his simplistic animal-like instincts make his ideas seem as though they were nothing more than the primitive ideas stemming from being an imperfect life form. Hidari, what do you think? Then chapter 3, on page 3, he says, well, it couldn't be helped, I guess. Mamushi's thorn soul, that is. There wasn't enough time. But Matsuri and Ryu were different. If we wanted to, we could have gotten them back, just like you did with me. Why didn't you do that? Hold on, actually. Why did you go out of your way to revive me? So it's basically what we're talking about.
Yeah, I remember bringing that up too. Like, why do you prioritize Sasuke over everybody else or Hidari?
Yeah, 100%. Even Mello was questioning Jura's leadership skills. Like,
Hey, but look at this though. Look at this though. Shout out to Randy Willis. He shout out to $2 donation. He said Jura and Hidari equal Naruto and Sasuke. That I mean,
it's low key looking like it.
It's 100%.
What's it called? Jura giving Hidari
like
the ick,
that
basically the same as Naruto giving Sasuke the ick. I see it.
Mhm. Yeah, I respect that. I respect that. I think that was a great super chat. Thank you for the donation.
But
Nigga Jura tried to smile it off to Hidari.
Dude got that romance
this
going on.
Hilarious, bro.
We got her. Free don't even know what we talking about. We got hurry up.
This nigga, bro.
All right, it's the next page after this one. So Jura's thinking for a bit. So he says, why indeed? I've never pondered over that before. I just thought up of a hypothetical scenario where I imagined you gone, and I began to feel rather lonely.
Oh.
Pardon me, did I perhaps give you the ick just now? Well, yeah, you kind of did. Jura says, cut me some slack, for reals. Like, don't disappear on me. Yup, major ick. Strangely, I don't hate it. And then Jura says, no kidding. They got the little romance going.
Bro,
it is Pride Month, It is.
Get out of here, bro. Stop that.
I mean, maybe they were onto something. I mean, let's be honest. Hidari's not doing anything emotionally wise that Sasuke wouldn't do.
You true.
No, I don't think Sasuke would have said that right there. Strangely, I don't hate it. No, he would have said
Yeah,
I hate
because Sasuke
it.
has inhibitions, but he would have thought that deep down.
Yeah, he probably would have thought that, but he wouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
At all. At
Yeah,
all.
that's why I rock with Kawaki. That's why I rock. He ain't rock with none of that. Go ahead.
That would have been that whole what was it? I think it was a rap battle, some shit like that. You sent it in the group chat.
Oh, I forgot. I don't even remember.
Nah, it was Black.
Oh,
He sent it in the group chat.
he's talking about that stuff. What was it? It was the Goku John with Trunks and
Oh nah, I thought you sent one with Sasuke too. No. It wasn't a song. It wasn't a song. It was a voiceover. And that shit was funny as hell.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, Black sent it. Black sent it. He sent it in the group chat. I ain't going that far up because niggas be typing a lot in there. All right, proceed. I'm sorry. I got off topic.
But I just wanted to bring something up. Until recently, a lot of people were thinking, what could be the situation that puts Jura over the edge? Because until now, we haven't really seen him care too much about anything other than his books. But now we kind of know that Hidari is his thumbscrew, and it just makes me think of chapter 16, where Koji says, "This is no joke. What is most critical is to not provoke Jura. Understand that if you truly anger him, we have no chance of winning. Absolutely none." And we talked about there potentially being more divine trees, but Jura makes it clear that he thinks of Hidari in a different light. It's not he's not going to go as far as to just replace Hidari with another divine tree. So how do you think Jura will get once Hidari is hypothetically taken out? Because it's not enough to beat Hidari now. It's to survive Jura and actually go revive Sasuke, because Jura's not going to let them leave with Sasuke's Thorn Soul. And if we know, emotions and a tailed beast, or even a humanoid tailed beast, they don't mesh together well. Like, it feels like we might see a generational Jura crash out, and it's going to be interesting to see how they survive that and get to Sasuke in time.
Well, yeah, I think that's what you're essentially looking at. Basically the tailed beast running amok. That's essentially what they've always called it. When a tailed beast just goes loose, I'm guessing that essentially be what Jura is going to do. It basically looked like when a 10 tails loses its chakra fruit. So I'm assuming that he'll probably get like a power boost. We've all kind of assumed that once he actually starts to really care about what he's fighting for. And that's essentially most other characters as well, but I think it's going to be at a different level for the Ten Tails. But when it happens, though, I mean, this might just be me. And I understand that I might be in the minority, especially after this recent Kawaki power up. Like, I don't think he could really like stand that much of a chance against Boruto and Kawaki if they team up as a duo. This is my opinion. Now, maybe he might outlast them, but like, I don't know if he's like striking that much fear in him.
But what
big Jura?
what he's saying though is like if you anger him at that point. So like they're saying like if he kills the person that he considers closest to him and like he just rages out and crash out, then they said they stand no chance.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, if they tried, if they was to, take the Thorn Soul Bulb and try to go get Sasuke back, the only person that can probably hold Jura back would be, Sarda. Sarda. No, Sarda.
Really?
Her using her last chance is using her EMS to save her father. I think she would do that. And that could be
all due respect.
Her MS, like, but they like that gravity thing it seems like there's no counter to it until we see otherwise. So
there is no counter to it.
My point is, like that could be like the ultimate sacrifice to save her father, and in that case, Sasuke can give her his last eye. And then she can get her EMS if they want to do it like that and keep the same tradition of how Uchihas gain it EMS. But I don't know.
See, it might In my mind, I feel like if we're gonna have a Sarada Hidari fight, it should be a situation where she just barely beats Hidari. So if she still has enough energy to fight Jura, how would the Hidari fight go? Because I see it as more of a near even match to where she buckles down, shows her resolve, and manages to beat Hidari.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, and maybe I'm just still in the part one mindset and how I'm looking at this. I understand she beat Ryu. I understand she reacted to Hidari a little bit earlier. I understand she hit him. I don't think she should be able to beat Hidari. It's just, there has to be some intervention from Boruto and potentially some Himawari interventions. There just has to be some help and some assistance alongside. I can't see Sarada 1v1 Hidari.
Blame Ikimoto, bro. Until I see a nigga really flex his way out of the Ohirume, the only two ways to beat Sarada is to wait till she bleeds out her eyeballs or to simply run away. You know what I'm saying? So until we see a nigga flex out of it, the only way is right now to cast the drop on her when either Ohirume is not active or when she overuses it.
But you know,
What?
Oh, you can go first.
No, I was about. Well, first thing, Black Chair, you sound like you're in the auditorium. Now, but I get the idea of we never really saw anybody actually beating Sarada. My thing though is like there has to be a limit to her abilities. We just haven't necessarily seen it yet. Mamushi, the not so smart Mamushis, they weren't going to be the people to actually beat it or defeat it. Ryu, without his saying, wasn't going to be the person to actually defeat it. But I think Hidari and Jura, they gotta at least, get past that original first wave of Ohirume. In my personal opinion.
See, I disagree with her needing too much help because if we think about it, we had that little trailer for the manga of the upcoming Hidari arc, and it's Sarada. It's Sarada and Boruto right there. I feel like we're underestimating Sarada. She still hasn't fully reached the peak of her power. She still has ways to go, especially with her high ceiling. I feel like at the end of the day, she is that Sasuke. We've seen her Mangekyo. We've seen Sasuke advocate for Sarada. We've seen Koji advocate for Sarada. Now that we finally got through the whole Byakugo can't heal her Sharingan, we can start talking about her potentially getting it just to boost her power level up. So she is that embodiment of both her parents. So we might even potentially be looking at an EMS and the Byakugo seal just to amp her up even more. So I think she's good where she's at. If she gets help on the Hidari fight, like significant help, I feel like that just makes Sarada loses the potential she had and what this has been leading up to, because if she's just so outclassed she can barely just play support, it just makes the story seem like, oh, I need Boruto again, and it completely negates her apology in this chapter. I know I'm skipping ahead a bit, but this is her chance to stand up on her own 2 feet and show how she's improved over the years and show her resolve that she wants to be Hokage, she wants to be like Lord Seventh, and when the going gets tough, she's still a shinobi and she's gonna endure. Now, of course, sure, you can have other people play support, but I really think she needs this fight for her own character development.
I get overall, I understand where you're coming from, but I just don't necessarily think she's at that level yet. And overall, don't get me wrong, she could be standing on her own 2 feet. She could be on the path of being that Hokage that she believes she could possibly be. Also, still not be strong enough to take on Hidari in a 1v1. Like, there's levels, and I get you. I get what you're saying. She could get help from a character like Boruto, and you said that's not a lot of help, but that's significant help. I think just a 2v1, I would probably expect that 2v1 to be able to defeat Hidari. I'd probably expect a 1v1 Boruto to be able to defeat Hidari. So if Sarada is joining in that battle, I have to assume, of course, she gets the W, but I think it's going to be how she gets the W. Does she deal the final blow? How much work does she put in up until getting Hidari to an extremely weakened state? I feel like that's going to be where she actually shines, and she proves that she could actually be a helpful assistance to Boruto, but also stand on her own 2 feet as an actual elite ninja.
So all right, let's play. Wait, do I sound better?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so let's play both sides then, because they already had a fight essentially, and the main hitters in the fight were Boruto and Sarada. Granted, help from the no-name Jonins and then help from Konohamaru, but let's look at what we already seen. Like, we already have knowledge to go back on. So now Boruto has gotten stronger since the fight. Sarada has gotten stronger since the fight. They've gained new experiences since the fight and new resolves both since the fight. Now, I know he gonna pull up with something crazy, but from what we seen, Hidari is like, come on, man, it's like you finna get packed up again.
Eh,
'Cause we
eh,
talking about a Sarada with a Chidori stream and 3 Tomo Sharingan dealing the final setup, and then Boruto with like a 92% Uzuhiko. Get him out of here. Kawaki, come clean up. So now that both are stronger, both have new perspectives, and a lot has happened since this fight alone, I will say it's kind of balanced because we don't know what we've seen at the very least, what Hidari was capable of. And now we've seen only Boruto and Sarada get stronger. So Ikimoto has to approach this fight. I think it's not even on Sarada as much as it's on Hidari. Like, what can he honestly do against these characters? And can he
Well,
come out on top?
well,
and
that's another thing. Are we taking into consideration that Hidari got stronger?
That's what I'm saying. We have to take into consideration if Ikimoto is want to go that route, or is it something where not necessarily he gotten stronger, he's just becoming more into his own of his power. Basically, last time he fought, like on some Kawaki stuff, maybe last time he fought, Hidari was operating at 60% capacity because that's all he knew how to do. And now he's operating at like an 85 or something like that. So, because if we just going off of what we know right now, Hidari just got revived and they're about to try to get the drop on him, bro. They're packing him up. I I can't see, like how you're saying it for Sarada. I get why you were saying it, but from what we've already gotten, not just like scales in part one, like just from the fight between these 3 characters alone, I can't see Hidari beating Sarada and Boruto.
And to add on to both of your points, I mean, just think about the setup. So it's implying that we're gonna be fighting at the very least, or just at the very least, opening onto the Divine Tree's base hideout. So the support Boruto would give her would basically be keeping Jura away from her, potentially keeping Code away from her. Like, we know Jura cares about Hidari now, so we need to figure out how to keep this fight a one-on-one. If Boruto shows up there in that fight with Hidari, Jura, there's nothing stopping Jura from going in. That's always been a problem. That's why Boruto can't really interfere that much outside the village if he doesn't have a backup plan. So we might just be seeing a near fully one-on-one with Hidari while Boruto or Kawaki or whoever keeps everyone else away. So I would say the odds are in her favor to substantially improve, substantially show more power, because we haven't even seen her use all her Uchiha abilities. Susanoo is still nowhere to be seen. There's the possibility of another eye power. I'm not going to say it's 100%, but there's always that possibility. So I think the odds are in her favor. She can't really be in that position where she's always getting help anymore. She has to have she has to showcase the reason why she can be Hokage, why she can be the light to Boruto's shadow, why everyone is saying she has this, she can do this, and I think she can show this with the Hidari fight. Like, this will be a situation where she doesn't conk out mid battle like Mamushi. Like, Mamushi was, like, as much as I love Sarada, Mamushi was a black mark for her right now. She needs to showcase that situation. She's not going to put herself into that situation again and get back, in my opinion.
My overall thing is she can show all that without having to beat Hidari in a 1v1. Now, my overall idea when it comes to them essentially having a 1v1 off with Jura and Boruto and Hidari and Sarada, I don't know how realistic that is. First thing first, I can't see Boruto willingly wanting to go in and 1v1 Jira. I think he has to have an overall
Right.
bigger plan than that. Whether it be or he tried, maybe he was thinking about getting Koch and Koji in there, which I highly think that's not possible. I think the overall plan is likely to be he pulls up with Kawaki as well. I think
Well, we may be getting
Kawaki
ahead
and
of
Boruto.
ourselves before, because we didn't even get to the conversation with them yet. So free game is currently. Yeah. Because I get the point that you're about to go to with that. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but overall, it sounds good overall. We're talking as fans, but realistically, I just can't see both Hidari and Jura losing that 1v1. I can't see it.
In my opinion, it wouldn't be a 1v1 against Jura. It would just be trying to get Jura away from that fight. Now, whether they have more support, that's fine. The key issue is to get the big predator out of the situation, so they have a chance of beating Hidari, of getting to Sasuke, because there has to be a significant line of thought into fighting Hidari, because Jura cares for Hidari. Ada has seen that, so at some point they're gonna find out. At some point, Koji's. Well, I won't talk about Koji until we go through the chapter, but at some point they're gonna know. So they have to strategize a way to get Hidari, and then quickly get his Thorn Soul and hightail to Sasuke. Whether that be flying Raijin, whether Code does the heel turn at the last minute, takes them to Sasuke.
He said heel
whatever.
Turn at the last minute is crazy.
Whatever. You have to keep Jura away from the battlefield long enough for that fight to happen. Whether it's Boruto leading him on a wild goose chase, whether it's Boruto fighting him, whether Kawaki shows up too and they both attack him, they just need to get into a situation where they can stall long enough for that Thorn Soul to manifest and for them to just teleport out of there. Because if I had to compare it, it's the Vegeta moment in Namek when Gohan got the Dragon Ball. Krillin knew Vegeta was eventually going to find out and be pissed. So by the time they got to the Grand Elder, Vegeta was flying in a rage to them. That might be Jura. He might actually get truly angered, and we might be in a situation where he says, "Screw it, I'm going to the village. I'm leveling this place up. You took my bro away."
Could be. I guess we could have continued. I do probably read through the walkie-talkie real quick. But yeah, I guess we could go to the next page, because I 100% want to get to that point so we can expound more. Have my free game conversations.
I'm about to say, let's get to that. Let's get to that combo. Then we could dig deep.
All right.
No Drake pun intended.
So Ada's watching her little soap opera between Hidari and Jura.
Shout out
which is
Ada.
funny. Sarada goes and gets her new prescription, which is funny because you think Sasuke would have did the same thing to pull up to the 5 Kage Summit, but I guess he just didn't want to wear glasses.
Shout out Sarada.
But she gets her new prescription. We get the kunai.
The Uzumaki spiral pattern. Yeah.
I'm guessing she picks it up, but we never saw it, so we'll just have to wait for the kunai to reappear.
I'm thinking, did he fly in Raijin her? Or
Nah, she ran.
She ran.
Yeah, I'm guessing he didn't want to be detected, so he just flew and just had her go outside the village. Yeah.
And he just flew above her. Okay.
Hey,
I ain't gonna lie.
Real quick, I did. What?
No, I was gonna say she's funny though, because she was talking about like all that flying. I'm like, you could fly, but low key, you see, she's already limited herself. She ain't gonna pull out Hirume just to fly right behind Boruto.
Hell
yeah.
Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Imagine. I was about to read the walkie-talkie comments. He basically said Ikimoto was on a roll answering a bunch of community questions. So he said, "What would you like to see him address in chapter 36?" Me personally, it'll probably be stemming around the recent Kawaki power up. It'd probably be that specifically. I guess just to jump in fear of jumping ahead, I just want to say this. I just want to know how Amato is going to do it. Like, does he have the reaction time to actually do it?
That's a good question. That's a good question. A great question.
I'll
watch it just be plot. Dude has contact lenses in his eyes. He's got it.
I want to know how he was able to figure out how to planet Karma. So that's what I want to know.
Actually,
yeah.
question, guys. How good do we think Amado's internet is? Do we think he's gonna get lag? Like, how good is that wireless connection between Kawaki and Amado?
Bro, he had a
It
frag
gotta be
regain
instantaneous.
connection in the middle of an Ishiki fight, bro. His
Like if
connection is
if
good, bro.
Denki invents a new scientific ninjutsu tool and it's just an EMP bomb and he EMPs Amado's lab, like
You want to know what's funny?
They gotta be working on land. They gotta be working on land. Like you know how they'll have like land events where there'll be multiple people in the same event or the same building, but they all have their own different PS4 systems. Now, of course, the EMP bomb pretty much shut the whole entire venue down. But you're assuming that they're relying on their own connection, not the connection of the actual internet type of thing. So I'm assuming Kawaki and Amato, they're probably not connected to Wi-Fi. They probably got their own connection.
it's just funny because if you think about it, unless I'm missing something, how isn't Amado able to also see what Kawaki sees while in another dimension? Like,
Yeah.
how
He
good is that
can see what
Wi-Fi?
his
Connection.
frog sees. He
They're on
was
land.
literally watching the Koji and Ishiki fight in a
Yes,
whole
like
separate dimension.
So like, how good is that Wi-Fi? Like, what like does Kawaki just give off Wi-Fi waves? Like, if I put my phone next to Kawaki, will I get bars?
Likely.
That's just
He
a
said
side
likely.
thing. It's just funny when you think about it, because Kawaki's basically blue. He basically has Bluetooth. Like,
I guess.
he's pinging Amado's computer 24/7.
Well, no, I guess that could be a question they answer next chapter as well. What if they get disconnected? Like hypothetically, even what happens if something happens to Amato and Kawaki's stuck at like 100% defense and 0% attack? Like, what happens then?
Laura, I'm
That's
glad
a
you said
realistic
that.
thing.
I'm glad you said that because I have a hypothetical, but we need to get through the chapter first.
Yeah, all right, 100%. Let's run through it.
But one last thing, Himawari's Byakugan, because answer it, please.
Oh yeah, that as well. That the Jogan.
Yeah.
We could be here all day.
Randy said Amato has to be a gamer. He probably, if he played Call of Duty, everybody is screwed.
Probably.
All right, we cut out.
Go ahead.
We cut to Enojin, everyone's favorite shinobi. No one's got beef with Enojin for some reason. So Enojin says, "What? Whenever? Yes, whenever. But that means while I'm sleeping, or even when I'm in the bath, or while I'm taking a massive dump. That's right. Through my toad tools, I will call out to you as needed. You must immediately connect others through the use of mind transfer jutsu or mind transmission formation. Always be on standby. That is your mission." And that's something. This is the reason, without going into specifics, this is the reason why I think the end of the chapter isn't a big loss for Boruto. But we can get into that later.
Yeah. But yeah,
just
real quick on that, but on that point,
Yeah.
real quick, yeah, man, just everybody's favorite ninja right now, bro. I was telling the chat earlier, I was like, yeah, this is like the moment where you send your friend to go ask your mom, because they're gonna say no to you, but it's like they're treating him as like the guy who's cool with everybody. He's on good terms with both sides. So if the village needs something from Boruto and Konoha, they go to Inojin, and if Boruto and Koji need something from the village, they go to Inojin. So Inojin's that guy. He's the mediator.
Yeah, to be honest, it's more of like a right place, right time type of thing. Like the only person in the village that really knows about Kashi and Koji is Inojin. So it's like, who else is he going to communicate with for like intel and stuff like that? It got to be Inojin. It can't be someone like that you potentially trust, like Shigadai, because he doesn't know you exist, type of thing.
I like the route that they took, because I was under the impression it was going to be a whole lot of hostility after the Mamushi arc, but it's still in a gray area. But I like the buildup that Ikemoto's laying down, like the foundation he's laying down, where it's like, it's still not everybody's all buddy, even though they've been fighting together. It's like particular individuals, and you're wary of it, but it's still something that it's allowed. It's kind of like I was saying, like, imagine if somebody was a mediator back in Shippuden for like the Akatsuki, right? Before the Akatsuki was doing like all the war stuff, though. So, right, essentially when they were just mercenaries, but it's hard to get in contact, and obviously, they're criminals, current criminals, former criminals, and stuff like that. So you got someone in the village who's able to operate on their level and they're willing to communicate with. So you can use that person in the village to get some work done through the Akatsuki. It's basically like that. That's how I'm looking at it.
It could be. I see it.
100%. All right, and it's interesting because Inojin has that mind transmission formation jutsu, so he's really leveled up.
Yeah,
Inojin says, "No way." Then we cut to Kawaki. We have Amado's white toad. You did well to come here. I'm about to reach a good stopping point. Amado says, "Wait there a moment. I'm almost done." He's spawning other toads, or just, I guess, creating them. The hell is this? With all these damn frogs. They have the same base model, the same base as the model that Koji uses. Might have characteristic features embedded into them, though. As you're already aware, those toads are all scientific ninja tools, not real life forms. It's possible for you to shrink them with Suke Hikona. Their design was completely thought up by me. Kinda cute, don't you think? Hurry up and get to the point. It wasn't like you called me here just to brag about your toys. Of course. First, take a look at that. So here's the little game menu for Kawaki.
2K sliders.
Silly. Literally 2K sliders.
Exactly.
This is crazy.
It's just the way they're displaying it, though. But I have an
100%.
interesting take on it, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll read it. Before that, I like how they did a callback to the fact that these toads aren't actually real and you could actually shrink them. I remember when Jigen first shrunk Kasha Koji's toads. I'm like, it's proof he hasn't been to Mount Miyaboku. Yeah, that was like a big moment.
That's true. Low key though, also, how does Koji still have more toads? Like, if the toad itself, like, does a model make a function to where the toad itself can is like asexual, like it just reproduces, like it could create other toads randomly? Like, because at one point Koji had to have like ran out of toads, or like so many toads gotten destroyed. So.
See, something I miss that Kodachi used to do is you'd have those little Omake chapters, like when Kawaki was eating taiyaki, or when they had their little Ninja X cards.
Yeah.
And we kind of stopped getting that when Ikamoto took over the writing fully. I feel like a funny Omake would have been Koji seeing Kawaki destroy his toad and saying, "That brat, I don't have a lot of them left." Because he could have like a finite amount in like some ninja scroll or something. And like every time one gets broken, he just loses one.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
I wish we could have seen something like, but to be honest, we've seen ninjas lose true seeking orbs and they ain't even mention it. But
So I'll just read the panels real quick so we can talk about them. So he says there's a system that controls your combat ability. The status window. Of course, it's literally a game. Except dude doesn't have that intelligence stat. I'm sorry, I had to. Your current parameters are attack at 85% while defense is at 15%. So you currently have an attack focused build. Kawaki says, "Hey, only 85%, still holding out on me, bastard. That 15% is going to waste. I told you to raise attack to 100%, did I not? Don't get smart with me, damn brat. Real rich coming from the guy who overheated and became useless at a crucial moment." He's the fan, he's echoing the fan statements. It's because of this 15% that you're still alive and standing. And Uchiha, you kind of brought up a good point that this is, like, more likely than not, this is the upgrade he got after the Jura fight. So he might have been fighting Jura at an even lower percentage compared to 85%.
Yeah. Which is even crazy.
Yeah, 100%. And to be honest, calling back to what Walkie Talkie was talking about, how Igimoto essentially answered a lot of our questions. Now we know for a fact he was taken away from his defensive prowesses to actually help his offense. And that was one of the things we kind of assumed, but now it's actually confirmed. But like, it's kind of crazy to see him taking like legitimate hits from Jura, like in the recent fight. But originally, when his defense was higher, like he got one tapped by like a Jura was playing
but
around.
Now he only has 15%.
But nah, he hasn't gotten hit though since. He hasn't gotten hit.
Oh,
has he not?
Oh, yo, no.
Look back in the entire track.
Yeah,
after he got his
right.
upgrade, since he fought and pulled up on Jura, he has not gotten.
Yeah,
he's not gotten touched.
He's
once.
right. He's right.
So Ikimoto is able to keep up with it. He's keeping up with the rule though. That's why I give him props for that.
Well, maybe I gotta go back and
All
brush
right,
up on some of my
here it
things,
is.
He has
So
not gotten
some of my
touched
knowledge.
once.
we have the tailed beast bomb go through. Kaoki absorbs it. Uh, he shrinks himself. Yeah, I don't think he got hit at all.
Oh,
So yeah, he is following the rules. Like at best, yeah, no.
he did not get touched at all. And
Oh,
Bushi did
God.
not lay a hand on him. Well, the only time he did actually is when we see it, it was in context because he got knocked out.
So, question: since he hasn't been using 100% of Shiki's power, would that put
Well,
hold on real
I don't
quick. As
think this
far
would
as
be
like power
Ishii's.
level, it is
Oh,
Ishiki's power.
nah, I
Well,
think these are
now
just
let's
his limited.
finish the conversation real quick. Go to the next part, Ryzen, because I feel like we're gonna have some good takes once we get through to the part once we right before the cutoff to the next scene, so we can just talk about the whole entire scene.
All
All
right,
right, bet.
so Amado continues and says, "Listen well, Kawaki. Don't misunderstand. Your complaints won't get you anywhere. That's not where you should put your focus. Let's do the opposite. Tell me exactly what you want, and then we can talk about how to make it happen." Man, Amado sounds like a used car salesman. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like he's yapping right now. He's just
So
talking.
we have the toad appear on Kawaki's shoulder. We see the numbers change, and funny enough, when we were talking about can Amado do that instantaneously, I don't think he pressed a button. So what if it's just in his mind? Like he just has like an implant or something that can control Kawaki stats or something. I don't know. But the numbers change. Kawaki says the numbers. Those weren't just numbers changing on a screen. Your actual stats changed. I just updated your combat abilities of my own free will. I'm able to instantly update your settings in real time thanks to the toad tool attached to your neck. So he says instantaneously. So low
Yeah,
key, there might be something like either in his glasses or an implant that he just has to think of that number and then boom, it's there. It doesn't seem like he needs to press a button. If it was like button pressing and loading onto his Windows 7 computer, it wouldn't be instantaneous. So it might be like
it's connected probably to his eyes because remember he
yeah,
said his eyes are scientific ninjas, bro. So
Yeah, he
exactly.
Yeah.
did say that. Mhm.
So it
We
might be a
don't know nothing
situation.
about it.
Exactly. It might just be a situation where as long as he's conscious, he can do it.
My thing is the practicality of it. Like in battle, I just don't think he could keep up with Kawaki's reaction speed unless we're
Right.
actually going with the idea that he's an Otsutsuki member. If you're telling me, hey, Amado's an Otsutsuki member stronger than even the likes of Ishiki Otsutsuki, I'd say, okay, this is a perfect plan. But if he's not that, I mean, okay.
Are you only operating on the assumption that he's weak? Because he could be putting on a ploy.
but
Like
it's still not practical though, unless he's controlling Kawaki's mind and thoughts. So it's like I get what Bar is saying because it's like the way Amado's explaining it, like he sugarcoats it over close towards the end, and on this page, so Kawaki starts to like he likes it because it's still something Kawaki would want, but it's like Amado, you have to really think about that, bro. Amado has to literally control it. So imagine you're fighting and you're going blow for blow, and then boom, one punch slips and they get you in the gut. Like, how is Amado keeping up with that?
I mean,
Yeah.
to
Or
be
some other
fair,
stuff,
to be
everything.
fair,
But go ahead.
all he really has to do is keep watching Kawaki. Because if we think about it, if he can instantaneously update Kawaki's stats just by thinking about it, the human body can thinking speed is 10 bits per second. That's damn near instantaneous. So if he's just thinking about it and gaming it out, and we know Amado is just smart as head, so his brain is operating on a capacity that's just crazy. I mean, if we think about Shikamaru as a kid being able to think 200 steps ahead in a quick amount of time, I don't think it matters how strong Amado is. It's his brain that's more important for this scenario. He's the guy in the computer. So
Yeah.
as long as his thinking is like that fast, I think he can do it, especially because the human brain is that fast.
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think it is. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it equates to his strength, but I'm just saying, like, even even no matter how smart he is, like you can be the smartest of smarts, like you have to still operate on the same wavelength as Kawaki. So if Kawaki's thinking like I'm trying to let off the biggest chakra blast my life, like your eyes have ever seen, in the instant though, like in the midst of getting hit, maybe Kawaki's thinking like, bro, I'm gonna take this stab, right? And who knows if a model's like, oh, maybe I should leave his defense at 50 and offense at 50. And Kawaki's like, damn, that's not enough power on the blast that he wanted when he tried to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like anything can happen
Yeah,
to where it's like, unless they're literally linked in mind and soul, like
yeah,
Momoshiki is.
or they had like months of training together. Like they go through a whole training arc, and we start to understand, they know each other's tendencies and stuff. I don't know.
And to be fair though, I think Amado has it figured out just by this page because we know what type of gameplay. Let's go in game terms. Kawaki is the guy who just puts all his stats in attack, right, and no defense.
Yeah.
So his default state is gonna be 100% attack. So Kawaki says what, and then Amado says, for example, I can make it so your defense is usually at 100. If you end up getting attacked from your blind spot, the likelihood that you die should almost be 0. So the fact that he's saying that Kawaki is going to be attacked from his blind spot kind of implies that he might have the capability to view Kawaki from all sorts of ranges. So if Kawaki is operating at 100% all the time, the only time Amado has to make the changes is when he noticed Kawaki about to be attacked and changes the stats to defense in that split moment. And then when he's back to attacking, I can switch things up and raise your attack power to 100% instantly, of course.
What?
So it's not him playing a 50-50 split or a 60-40 split. It's him going 100 on this side to 100 on the next side and calculating that, oh shit, Jorah's about to hit him. He's if he blocks at a 0%, he's gonna get clapped. So when he raise up that defense real quick, then the second he blocks, I'm gonna switch it back to attack and have Kawaki counterattack.
In theory, I understand it, but like in practicality, like for example, remember that taijutsu battle between Naruto and Momoshiki when they diffused Momoshiki? If Kawaki's in a situation like that and he's hitting someone while getting hit, how is Amato about to react to that? Like,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. And like, if he gets hit while his defenses are at 0, it's like he's cooked, right?
But
So it's
that's
like
the
one
thing
tiny
about it.
jab, he's folded.
I just think even like Kawaki is going about it so wrong. Even the way he's like the way Amato ends the conversation is like, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, bro, this dude got attack and defense. Like it don't make no sense. So how strong is he really? But at the end of the conversation, Amato basically said this is like chakra control. So I'm like, it's basically like it's literally like
Kawaki can do himself, right?
yeah, so it's literally like it's just 100% of his power, but it's like what are you applying to defense and what are you applying to offense? So it's not anything actually that crazy when you think about it like that. Like Amato said, like basically chakra control. But in this case, Kawaki can't control his power because we know his chakra is separate from his karma and ninja tech power. So if he could control his ninja tech power like how the ninjas could control chakra, it would be easy. So he's already at 4%. It's just what he's actually capable of doing. Like he's not able to actually release attacks at full power if he wants to because he can't.
I think that. Oh no, you can go first.
Well, no, I was about to say I think that's a separate type of thing, or a separate question. I 100% agree. Like hypothetically, if he had a shadow clone doing all the movements for him and not Amato, I think it'd be significantly better for Kawaki's character. It seems like he has more autonomy. Whereas right now he seems like a legitimately straight up scientific robot or scientific technology. So it's like, but I'd still have question like the reaction time and stuff like that. But still, right now it is that thing where it's like it seems like he has no autonomy.
I agree with you 100%. You know, we can take that one step further. He doesn't even need a shadow clone. I think he's being purposely limited because if Kawaki was smart, if Kawaki actually asked questions, he'd realize this should be something he can do himself, either by learning better chakra control and doing it the way ninjas do it. Because, for example, Boruto can amp up his chakra to defense or offense. But even if we say that's impossible, you need a ninja tech upgrade. you'd think Amado would be able to rig it so Kawaki internally has the option to do that. So I think that's Kawaki's next goal, getting that upgrade or getting that technique that allows him to do it by himself, because Amado is only doing this so Kawaki realizes he still needs Amado. I feel
Yeah.
like in hindsight, this should be an easy upgrade. Hey Kawaki, I just upgraded you. Now all you have to do is just think about how to amp yourself up and it'll happen. So I think
Literally,
that should be
that's all he
Kawaki's
had to
next
say.
plan.
Yeah,
But I think
100%.
Amato
I
made
agree.
it this complicated to confuse Kawaki because he made it sound like he said, Kawaki likes to efficiency, so he made it sound efficient to where even if, because I still think me and Baro, we don't think it's practical at all, but he can make it sound practical enough to Kawaki because the way he paints it picture, he's like, well, let's just say you're not fighting. Whenever you're not fighting, I'm gonna always leave your defense at 100%. So that's why he says, even if you're hit off guard, you probably won't die because you're damn near immortal, right? So he says the minute you start the fight, let's just say if they operate on the where Amato has to control it as opposed to Kawaki being able to instinctively will how he uses his power, Amato can just be like, since you like attack so much, I'm gonna just always leave your attack at 100 soon as you start to fight and just keep it at that. Or in situations where it might get sticky, I might go back to the 85-15 where I secretly had you at before you didn't even realize. So that might be a default to where, okay, he leaves the defense at 100% all times. And let's say at the drop of a moment, Claw Mark pops out and Code pulls up and Kawaki starts fighting, right? The minute he sees, oh shit, somebody's fighting, boom, attack goes to 100 or attack goes to 85 or something like that. So
100%. And I think it just goes back to Amado's character. Like, we think Amado is giving us these gifts and these benefits, but it just goes back to what Ada said in part one. Yeah, right. You're profiting from resolving a problem you yourself created. So he created that problem of nerfing Kawaki, of limiting Kawaki, and now he's resolving that problem
by creating a
by,
solution.
by creating a manufactured solution of him having the switch now. It's never Kawaki who's on the switch. It's always someone else who's controlling Kawaki. And that just leads back into what Momoshiki told Kawaki. Kawaki's going to keep following people. And, you know, his end goal should be to finally take charge himself, to finally have his own ideas, to finally have control of himself.
Yeah.
But also, I guess detaching from. Oh, you're freaking about to say something because I was about to detach.
You say you was about to do what?
I was about to take this. I was about to take it somewhere else. Go ahead.
Oh no, we got a donation.
All right.
Hey, Chris the Beast 702. Shout out to $5 donation. He said, "How crazy would Amado Izanosuke reveal be? Everything would make so much sense."
I mean, in a way, especially after this Kawaki power up thing, I understand what my guy Ryzen said, but I still kind of find it hard to believe he'd have that reaction time. So yeah, after that, 100%. But I mean, me personally, I'm still on the idea that he's just a good guy. He's just a good. Well, Mello correct me. He's not a good
man,
guy,
Savannah.
quote unquote. He's just a regular
He's just a
human
man.
trying to get his daughter back. Yeah.
Just like the Blood War guy, the Blood Prison guy. That's how I equate it to.
Yeah.
It would be crazy if he's an Otsutsuki though. I'm not gonna lie. It would be like I don't know. You would have to look back at everything. The fact that it's not confirmed now, or it's not like an idea brought up now, it's hard to say. But if it was actually something that was revealed, you have to go back at every Amato conversation and look at it differently, bro. And literally
What
look at it differently.
if he suffers the Dr. Jiro death, would that diminish his character? Like he bring his daughter back and she kills him?
Nah, bro. I'm already knowing Akebi finna come back on some wild-ish, bro. Like she's finna be a problem. Like people don't like. Yeah, she's about to be an issue and something you can't resolve with some tissue bars. You feel me? It's about to be
Ooh,
crazy out here.
question. Uchiha Bara free game. In the little data book, well, officially not a data book, but they talk about how the amount of time it takes for someone to resurrect for karma is proportional to the person's strength.
Mhm.
So on one hand, we could go evil Akabi, but if she's so strong, her resurrection shouldn't be immediate. unless they change it up. Or we could go that Akabi is generally a human being, but she was revived in the body of an Otsutsuki, and now that gives us one more person to look out for, who could be devoured by the divine tree. So which way would you want the story to take? Because even though that we do have that karma statement, they could just say, "Oh yeah, I tweaked this so she resurrects quickly." But how would you guys want the story to go? Pretty much on that situation.
If she's the Otsutsuki, I hope she's a full blown Otsutsuki. Like she was Otsutsuki from the rip. Amato's Otsutsuki as well. It's the whole cabal. That's how I'd want it. What I think is more realistic would be the other option where, hey, she wasn't an Otsutsuki, but throughout this karma seal resurrection process, she just so happened to now become an Otsutsuki, and now maybe we just got to side eye her a little bit.
Or maybe, like, just 10 for a hat. Maybe Amado was sent out to actually infiltrate Jorah, and I mean not Jorah. I'm sorry. The Ishiki. Sorry. Yeah, and he has to bring back his daughter. He's doing this whole ruse or whatever because the guy played the 3D chess. Do you think that he would have spilled everything, like his full plan? He'll give them like some sob story so they sympathize with them and everything. But I don't know, bro. I don't think that he's telling the full 100% truth. So if him and his daughter happen to be Osuki, then I think that would be one of the biggest like plot twists in Boruto. But the only thing is, if she, well, no, yeah, because he wouldn't need another vessel. Why would he make himself a vessel? Because I was gonna say maybe he can make himself a vessel, bring his daughter back, but then he'll no longer exist. So he find another suitable candidate, which would be Kawaki, so he can resurrect his daughter through him. So he can get the so she can be Osusuki or whatever.
Adding on,
I was gonna say I'm under the consensus, like based off of your question, Ryzen. It could go two ways for her, because I think if she does revive quickly, it will be simply as like, oh, she's never revived. Like if like the first way, let's say she's Otsutsuki and Amado was plotting something all this time, right? I think it's something to where like he's purposely reviving her, not at full strength, to where she can always be revived quickly. And something like that happens to where once she's revived, he sacrifices himself, and then boom, she instantly regains full strength, and then that's how she becomes a problem. And that can justify why it'd be so quick. So it could be like, oh, that's why it only took 3 years, because we know Amado Ben had this karma on Kawaki, so that's why it only took like 3 years for it to get to a point where she was able to be revived. And plus all the time that Kawaki's taken to where he's purposefully not doing it, because we know Amado's been ready to revive her. So there's also that. And then the other way I'm thinking is like, bruh, he's genuinely just a guy trying to bring back his daughter. And she comes back, but she comes back and her mind is thwarted to where she adopts the personality of like a brand new Otsutsuki. Like she goes by Akebi, but she's not the Akebi Amado knows of love. She's a Akebi fucking Otsutsuki, and she's here to take shit and names on the list. You feel me? So I'm thinking it's something along that line more so. That's what I'm hoping for, that she comes back and it's not anything that do with or like tied to like true Otsutsuki history, but she's rather like a new personality, and she identifies as an Otsutsuki at birth, like the minute she comes back. And it's one of those things. It's like with Ultron. Like, you know how creepy it was when Ultron first like was born. He was like, wait, when he was talking to remember when he was talking to Tony
Jarvis.
Stark's AI? Yeah, Jarvis. He was like, where am I?
I don't know. Justified. I don't know.
What I'm saying? So
I don't know.
Kevin could come back on those type of vibes.
I was gonna say in Ultron's case, I mean, they exposed the baby to massive human atrocities. So you know what, justified.
He saw all that shit. Yeah, that is true.
without learning the inhibitions that a human would normally have by the time they learn that, it would be basically Jura as an infant learning about human atrocities and saying, "Man, human culture has nothing. Let me blow this place up."
Rather than how he's learning right now. Yeah.
But my last thought about it before we get off topic, since free game brought it up, if Amado and Akabi are twin Otsutsukis, right? the Utsutsuki pairs. Do we think in that case would Amado have been the one to use omnipotence on humanity before
Go
it?
ask that
Before
question one more time.
so if Amado and Akabi are actual genuine Otsutsukis, do we think Amado was one of those past Otsutsukis who used omnipotence and rewrote humanity's memories before Ada?
Yeah, I don't think it's
I,
possible.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't
Hey,
say that. No.
Because we gotta remember, Ada used her Senrigan to look into Amado's past, and from what she saw, Akabi was just a human girl who got sick and died. So,
That is also true, bro. Ada did confirm with her own eyes Amato's backstory.
so if that's not real, it's either he used omnipotence to rewrite everyone's memories to believe that, and that's what she's seeing being under omnipotence, or he tweaked her Senrigan to where if she ever looked in his past, she would see human Amado.
but-
Or he put her under a genjutsu. There's nothing that states that
Yeah.
Ada is like immune to genjutsu. And
Or-
she just never realized.
or it's the truth, or that's his actual backstory. He's just a misguided man who wants his daughter back. So
Yeah.
I wonder
That's
which
up
it'll
on the
be.
table too. But also he could be that little dude on the missing stone tablet. Maybe he's the one who destroyed it. So that could also be a possibility too. Because if he trying to conceal his true identity, why would he leave that there? And I'm pretty sure he knew about that dimension.
Maybe Amato
Honestly.
destroyed the tablets before he gave Sasuke because we know he gave Sasuke the coordinates. Maybe he destroyed because we know Sasuke touched it and then the Otsutsuki showed up. So that's how he knew what Ishiki looked like. So what if
Right.
if he never destroyed it and he touched it, he would have been like, wait. And then after they had met Amato, they would have been like, wait, Sasuke. Sasuke would have been like, wait, I know him. He's the Otsutsuki I saw on the panel. So
Yeah.
hey, low key.
Thinking
There's
ahead.
something there.
It's possible, but I don't think so.
But
Again,
yeah,
I
it's
think
a
I
reach.
mean,
Amado's
we
a
would
regular
also.
guy.
I mean,
I feel like I feel like we'd also have to explain Koji's infinite timelines of just seeing hypothetically Amado just die after the divine trees happen. Unless you want to say Otsutsuki's aren't exempt, but then that's like an Otsutsuki has to eat that fruit. So I feel like in my opinion, I'm betting on him just being a normal dude, a normal misguided dude, like the blood prison guy who wanted his son back.
do you think that like Jorah would be able to sense if he was an Osusi?
That I feel like
Probably.
he might, yeah, because the claw marks were able to do that, and he knows instinctively that Boruto's an Otsutsuki and Kawaki's an Otsutsuki, unless he's in a human vessel or he's just so far ahead of the other Otsutsuki that he can do this. It's hard to say because he could be that crazy big brain. He's just so strong. He just has the technique to hide.
Yeah.
But it also, I guess what I'm trying to say is it could go anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. It would hypothetically if he did have omnipotence, you'd assume he probably knew how to mask his chakra as well. Like you
Maybe
say
from
if he's that
even
elite.
other Osuskis.
Say again.
Even like maybe against other Osuskis, so like he can.
Yeah,
mask his
especially
chakra
because if we're thinking he had
and
the
tell
ability,
these-
yeah, because if we're thinking he had the ability to utilize omnipotence and potentially hide it from another omnipotence user, like we're talking about one of the elites now, like you know what I'm saying? Like I assume if there's another omnipotence user that pulls up, I can't necessarily. Well, I wouldn't say I assume. I say I can't assume that Ada would just automatically fall under that omnipotence.
But see, we
I
also
have to
gotta
see.
remember that Ada's the gray area. She's a human with an omnipotence, not an Otsutsuki with omnipotence. So
That
in
as well.
theory, an Otsutsuki using omnipotence should entrap Ada because she's just a human. It's like Damon. Damon's not affected by Ada's omnipotence, but he's susceptible to other.
But who built them though? Amado.
Yes.
So he can have some type of tech in them where they can't detect that. Like it doesn't work. He negates it in some type of way. I wouldn't put that past him. If he
I mean,
wasn't Otsutsuki, just operating on an assumption that he is, I wouldn't
that
put
could be
past
it. Because at the end of the day, we don't know if he's immune to omnipotence or if his like big brain statement actually holds true. Because he just said,
him.
"Oh yeah, I used absolute proof, so I know Kawaki is Kawaki." But for all we know, he could be poker facing it, and he could be 100% immune. It's just we haven't seen much of Amado until now, really.
Right. True.
What if, and this is just like a crazy tinfoil hat theory, he took some blood from Ada and transferred it into himself because he was like, hey, she might get omnipotence. Or maybe he did that to all of the cyborgs and that's how he's able to shut them down. He has their DNA.
That's a crazy idea.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a crazy idea, but hey, I don't put it past him.
You, you know, Orochimaru is a geneticist expert. I don't think it would take much to have him synthesize Ada's DNA, have that shit go around to humanity, and then boom, everyone's immune to Ada's omnipotence.
Yeah, I mean, well, real quick, could you potentially clone Ada, and that clone get omnipotence?
Yes.
At this point, you could clone anything. The way Amato's moving, yeah.
Because he's cloning deltas, and it's implied that this delta still has Shibai cells. So I guess so. It's just you run into the same problem of Ada just not being able to control omnipotence. So now you would potentially just have a bunch of Ada clones whose omnipotences could go off at any time for any reason because all the clones aren't exactly Ada, so they would have different personalities.
Basically, just gotta
Be like
keep
the same thing with
all
Delta.
Otsutskis. I see what you mean.
Yeah. What's the next battle?
But yeah,
I was
let's
about to
run
say
through this scene and get to the next one. So
yeah, I was about to say we like an hour in. We were like 10 pages deep. Like nah.
All right, so he just continues on. Indeed, I can, as long as the toad tool is stuck to you. That is, that's the one caveat. I'll be the one controlling your power levels. So hang on.
Yeah. So he attaching a toad to Kawaki and Koji attaching a toad to Inojin.
Yeah. The little parallel. Well, getting to the point, it's a similar skill to ninja's chakra control. For you who makes light of their training methods, this kind of thing is perfect, no? True, that doesn't sound bad. Thanks for getting the convo over with. Amado says, however, in order to have this ability, if you really want my support, there's one thing I want you to do. I'm warning you now, if this is about giving your daughter karma, then I'm going to have to refuse. That'll only happen after I beat down all those Shinju bastards. Amado says, yes, I'm aware. I don't intend to argue with you about that. What I want you to do is something entirely different, and I need it done soon. Then we split to Sarada, so she ran all the way to Boruto, who's sitting on the
she's a
giant
runner.
tree.
She's a track star.
And then Boruto says, sorry, I thought we wouldn't be able to take our time talking in the village. And then Sarada says, must be nice for you, flying around and all. Boruto says, I'm relieved, seems like you were able to see all right. Well, kinda, for now. Compared to your right eye, this is nothing. Boruto says, what's with you, bringing that up all of a sudden? I never got the chance to really apologize before. I'm sorry, it must have been hard for you. I guess so.
That
so
reminded
much
me of another
happening.
star to L. My bad. I'm just
It's not an
just
L,
talking out
though.
loud.
Why?
All right, guys.
Why is it an L? Why is it an L?
She's the whole reason Boruto has the scars because Sarada was lacking. Basically,
But what matters is Boruto's perspective, so he doesn't
Stop
mind
it.
So
That's
if you
not
don't
what
mind
matters.
But also, Bora, question: If Sarada never showed up, if she decided to go home, what happens to Boruto?
I'd have to rewatch. I'd have to reread
he
that
dies.
chapter to see exactly
He dies.
what's going on.
So that's the alternative. Sarada helps, he loses an eye. Sarada stays away, and he dies. So pick your
I'd have to
poison.
see.
And plus,
I feel like she could have assisted better. I'd say
and
that.
plus niggas like the aura, right? Boruto look cool now. Everybody be like, oh yeah, this is fire. So yeah.
Plus, I can hate Kawaki more. Like at the end of the day, it's Kawaki who destroyed that eye. So regardless of if Kawaki gets redeemed or not, he's always going to be responsible for removing Kawaki's eye, for removing Boruto's eye.
I kind of think he was proven correct by doing that. I mean, not even what is it? Not even 30 seconds later, Momoshiki pops out and just frees Kawaki.
But why does Momoshiki pop out? Because of Kawaki's actions, because of Boruto being.
No, we not. No,
it's like saying, bro. It's like you saying. It's like saying, bro. Kawaki's whole perspective during that whole entire run is like saying, bro, there's a hornet's nest right there. I'm finna kick it.
Why would you kick it? It's not that.
We don't want the hornet's nest there. In this case, being Momoshiki, but it's not agitated right now, so don't agitate it. But Kawaki's actions led to like. Momoshiki wouldn't have acted at that time. Momoshiki got an opportunity.
100%.
That's why he popped up, because of Kawaki's actions.
No, the reason Momoshiki popped up is because Momoshiki somehow is now possessing a young boy. That's the whole entire reason he popped up. Like, well, why are we trying to pawn this off?
But we gotta remember. The only way at that point in time that Momoshiki was able to take over was during trauma, during Boruto having. It's just basically going into despair, and that's what he was. His emotions were all over the place. Right. He was
perfect
hurt.
Time. But this is perfect timing.
Creates a
manufactured despair, so we can handle the situation right now. Currently, that's the best situation that could have went down. Because again, I feel like Kawaki, in some people's eyes, is the only adult in the room. He's the only person seeing Boruto for what he is.
I guess
what do you mean by that? He's cool. Just go ahead and say it. Otsutsuki with a capital O. Is that what you're calling him?
But I get you, Baro, 100%. But here's the issue,
bro. Do you say the hard O?
That's basically what he just called Boruto.
But I get you 100% that Kawaki has a right to be afraid of Momoshiki. But we know verbatim that was the wrong choice, because remember. If Kawaki kills Boruto, the world ends. He fails.
Yes, we understand that. Hindsight is 2020.
So that's still on Kawaki, but that's still on Kawaki because he never had the authority anyway. And we know the only reason Momoshiki's coming out is because of that trauma. We even see it when Boruto faces off Team 10 because of his messed up mental state. Because of omnipotence happened, he couldn't keep Momoshiki from manifesting again until Sasuke saved him, and we even see it in chapter 80 right here.
Again,
we have Momoshiki talking to him. We have the karma starting to manifest. We have it going up, and Boruto even saying, "Momoshiki, if you dare hurt my friends, I'll never forgive you." Then plot armor happens. Mr. Sasuke Uchiha happens, saves him, and then Momoshiki gets pissed because this was the perfect time to fully take over, but Boruto's mental resolve just peaked. Like there was no way for Momoshiki to ever take over again because of his mental resolve in base.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. But he still took over though. Like, yeah, I understand you could say Kawaki caused it and everything like that, but there's still going to be eventual situations that arise, hypothetically, if Kawaki didn't do that, that is still caused Momoshiki to pop out. And I understand, hey, maybe he'd still be alive if Kawaki didn't actually do it. And of course, he didn't actually kill Boruto. But hypothetically, Kawaki and Boruto never get into that confrontation. There's still a high possibility that Momoshiki pops out. And you could say, hey, maybe in 2026, in Boruto TBV chapter 35, he'd still be alive. Cool, but Momoshiki would still be like out on the prowl and basically
see the problem is
hypothetically, Bara, me and you standing outside next to a hornet's nest, right? I kicked the hornet's nest.
It's not a hornet's nest. It's not.
Just say this. Just answer this. I kicked the hornet's nest and you get stung up and down. Whose fault is it? The hornets or mine?
I'd say yours in that situation, but it's not a hornet's nest. This is like, it's like saying, all right, the person is going to be fine until we attack it. That's not it.
But see, Jura, but see,
what's the difference than how they're treating Jura right now, as opposed to how that, like, my whole thing is like Kawaki is like not even acting on hindsight, like acting in the moment, in the point in time where everything happens. It's like he's operating under the belief that no one would understand and that he knows he understands how Otsutsuki. Like, give me your fucking proof. Where's your rapport at? We're dealing with ninjas who've been dealing with Otsutsuki since decades ago. Like, they got it on their rapport, bro.
But Boruto Boruto would be the report. Boruto told him, "Hey, if Momoshiki pops out again, kill me." He said that off rip, and then all of a sudden, Momoshiki
At the point in
saves him.
time,
Whoa, pick up on that. All of a sudden, Momoshiki saves his life, and he's saying, "Matter of fact, I changed my mind. Don't kill me." Not only that, he says, "I don't think Momoshiki can take over my body anymore." Come to find out, a couple of chapters later, he actually does take over Boruto's
Now,
body again.
to be fair, he didn't say that. He didn't say Momoshiki couldn't take over. They specifically said
He
Momoshiki can still
figured something
hijack his
out.
body. He said he thinks
He's-
he can. He said he thinks he can control
you
Momoshiki's
say
power
he thinks he
better.
can control more.
But
Yeah,
but
more
the
power, that's
hijacking
all.
thing was always a situation. That's why they had the cohabitation. And Boro, you're right. You're right. Hindsight is 2020, 100%. And I've said this before. Killing Boruto inherently isn't a bad choice. It's how you go about it. If you have all the leaders telling Kawaki not to do it, and he does it, and a bad thing happens because of it, it's on Kawaki more. Because if a leader does it, they're gambling with the people's safety, but they're doing it as a leader. They're taking a gamble. Kawaki went and tried to kill Boruto. We know, for example,
because
Kawaki was never going to stop at an eye. If Kawaki rolled a 20 on charisma, a 20 on luck, and got everything he wanted that day, we know everyone's dead. We know Naruto and Hinata never get unsealed, so they're existing in limbo for eternity in a situation that's worse than hell. The thing, it doesn't matter because we're choosing between Sarada saving Boruto, he loses an eye, or Boruto dies because Kawaki was never gonna stop at the eye. If he was gonna stop at the eye, fine. But you know, I know, we all know he was planning on killing Boruto. Once Boruto's dead, the world ends. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Kawaki can't fix that mistake.
We agree with that. I feel like we're just disagreeing on the justification. I feel like you don't believe that Kawaki is justified in that particular moment in wanting to kill Boruto. I think he is. I think, to be honest, I'll take it a step further. I think 90% of Kages in Naruto are doing it, are killing Boruto right there.
100%. I said this though. The difference is the authority. Kawaki never had that authority to begin with, so his mistakes are seen greater.
Bro.
Okay. Here's a question.
Nah,
here's a
bro.
question.
We gotta, bro.
I think
Byron,
iron
we
out that
gotta look at
disagreement.
it. Nah, bro. Look at it from the perspective, because you're looking at it from the point of like when they're already outside. Like if you're gonna claim that stance, you gotta look at it from the point of where it actually started. Like, yeah, he sensed Momoshiki at the house and he asked Boruto. Boruto's like, "What are you doing?" But he went and act irrationally rather than calming the situation down and actually trying to talk it out of Boruto. He asked Boruto one time. He was like, he didn't even ask Boruto. He didn't even talk to Boruto. He asked Momoshiki to come out. Like Momoshiki was gonna listen. First of all, he didn't even say, "Oh, Boruto, I see Momoshiki there. What are you doing?" He was like, "Nah, Momoshiki, you bastard, come on out. Where are you?" No answer from Momoshiki. He goes and seals Naruto. So at that point, how is he justified? Because ultimately, that's ultimate agitation right there. Because nothing is going down at that point in time. So you're just saying, at the spur of the moment, it's okay to already entice a battle that we're already treading on like thin ice. So we try to figure out how we're going to operate around this. But Kawaki went and acted in that point in time, in that moment. That wasn't justified, that entire thing. So anything that happens after that is not justified because that's the catalyst.
I feel like the catalyst started significantly earlier than that. The catalyst started when Momoshiki possessed that young boy. That's essentially the catalyst. Everything that happens downstream is just reactions from that.
Okay,
so they should have killed
Uchiha.
Boruto in the hospital after they freed Naruto, essentially, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I know a lot of Kages who would have.
okay, and that's fair. But Bora, Uchiha, question. So the handful of ninjas and villagers that wanted to kill Naruto, are they justified from hypothetically taking a kunai and trying to stab the kid?
I mean, you asking me?
Both of you.
No, you already know my answer, Ryzen. No, hell no.
Whoa, ask the question again. One more time.
Okay, so we know that a handful of ninja and some civilians, even though they never acted on it, wanted Naruto dead, put under the ground 6 feet under. So are they justified if hypothetically some random chunin on a Friday night sees Naruto, senses a sliver of Ninetales energy, and says, "Nah, I gotta kill this fox brat like right now before he kills me." I mean, well, what if the Ninetales escapes? What if the village gets destroyed? And back in the day, the village is your life. The village is your world. You don't care if the Stone Village gets destroyed. You don't care if the Cloud Village gets destroyed. You only really care if the Leaf Village gets destroyed. So if the Ninetales has a small chance of escaping, aren't they justified from getting rid of that threat? Especially because the village, or at the very least the civilians and the lower ranked ninjas, never knew the village had a Jinchuriki, never knew that you needed a Jinchuriki, and just saw Naruto as this brand new thing for the village that was endangering the village. Like, should they have killed him to prevent Ninetales from escaping?
Nah, because the practicality of it wouldn't make any sense. I understand you're saying, hey, they only care about the Hidden Leaf Village, but if you kill Naruto, Ninetales is going to pop back up, and the
Now,
Hidden Leaf Village would essentially want it back for defensive purposes.
but
So
but see,
it's
here's
like,
the thing. Here's the thing. The villagers didn't know that. The average village, the average ninja saw the Ninetales as a natural disaster. They didn't know that the village had a Jinchuriki. They didn't know that Kushina was a Jinchuriki. The only ones who knew it were the top brass. So the village as a whole, like Kawaki, who doesn't know everything that's going on in the village, would see Naruto as that danger. And they even say it. They even say it in chapter 1 of Naruto. We should have killed him when we had the chance. So it becomes a situation to where, like, he should have been killed when we had the chance, but we can still set that right if we act now while he's still a boy before the demon spirit breaks free. Don't make the mistake of thinking him as one of us. When we find him, he has to die. I mean, they saw the Ninetales. Like, this isn't hysteria. Like, at the end of the day, Ninetales is right here. Ninetales did kill a shit ton of their family members, and a crazy amount of their ninjas. So, like Kawaki seeing Momoshiki take over, are they justified from killing Naruto or even Sakura? Say Sakura, instead of being forgiving to Naruto, decided to press charges on Naruto for attacking her in Four Tail State, and that's Naruto willingly giving himself up for control of the Ninetales. What if she went and told everyone? And then the village is now looking at Naruto and said, this fox brat, we were right about him. He willingly gave control to the fox and almost killed the 5th Hokage student. So are they justified from being fearful of Naruto and wanting to get rid of that Ninetales threat?
well, being fearful, they're of course justified, but wanting to get rid of them, I don't think it's justified just because of the practicality. Now, I understand your point of them not necessarily knowing off the rip, but the functionality of them essentially killing the boy, it just wouldn't necessarily do too much. Whereas if you kill Boruto, per se, you're actually getting rid of the Otsutsuki member. You're actually
I kind of disagree because there
only vessel.
are ways to get rid of the Ninetales permanently. You can seal him away into something else. I mean, we know that half of Ninetales was sealed away forever. We know Eight Tails was sealed away in the Sage of Six Paths' paw, and the only reason why he kept getting brought out is because they wanted a Jinchuriki. So if the average village sees a way to get rid of Ninetales, are they justified to not get killed by Ninetales?
Well, hypothetically, if they want to seal Naruto, I'd say no, they're justified. Hypothetically, Itachi pulls up with the Tosca blade. All due respect, he's justified.
As long as we're consistent, because if you say that, oh yeah, Naruto's a danger and Itachi just sealed him away, or just killed him, or sealed Ninetales away, as long as we're consistent, I have no problem with it. Especially because, one last theory: if they found another Uzumaki, if they found an Uzumaki on the level of Kushina, who's never gonna let Ninetales escape or just get out, would they be justified in killing Naruto to transfer Ninetales in the better Jinchuriki? For the village's safety. To prevent Naruto from ever losing control and blowing up half the village.
I'd probably say no.
Really?
Yeah, in a situation like that, probably not. I mean,
but here's the thing. You're replacing a ticking time bomb with a safe that's never going to explode. Isn't that the point? Boruto's a ticking time bomb who's going to explode. Kawaki isn't. So if Naruto's a danger, shouldn't he be treated the same way? If we found Karin Uzumaki, right? Say Karin has more compatibility to Ninetales. She got a version of the chains of the adamantine sealing chains. If they found her earlier, and say Sakura said, "This man attacked me right here with Ninetales," and then Danzo brought up getting a better Jinchuriki, aren't they justified from getting rid of Naruto, who's at this point a danger to their world, to their village, to their home, to their family?
No, because I don't think I don't think it mitigates the risk. Like, you can say, yeah, she's significantly better at being a Jinchuriki. Maybe it'll be the chances of the Ninetales going wild will be significantly less. I still think there's a chance. Whereas with the Boruto thing, there's a definitive Yes, if you kill Boruto, Momoshiki is not here anymore. It's
But
not,
there are ways to get rid of Ninetales. That's the situation. If you
but
can get rid of
again,
Ninetales, if you can get rid of Ninetales permanently, but at the cost of Naruto's life, would you do it? Would you justify them? If a
again,
ninja said
I said yes.
if a ninja said I learned the Reaper Death Seal, I'm gonna remove the Ninetales, but that's killing Naruto.
Yes, again, I said the same thing with the Tosca Blade, but if you say, "Hey, Reaper Death Seal," yes, it makes
Okay, as
great
long as we're
sense.
consistent,
All right,
as
y'all
long as
got
we're
it.
consistent.
Y'all
As
got it.
long,
Y'all got it.
I don't agree with it, but as long as we're consistent that you're killing Naruto for the safety of the village,
All right,
I'm fine. I'm fine with it as long as
all
we're
right.
consistent.
Let's move on with the panels.
Yeah.
I knew Vara was gonna say yeah. It was gonna end up some way somehow. He still was gonna have to say it regardless. So
All right, we have a little scene with
so
Sarada
this is
and
Boruto. No,
Boruto.
because wait, this is Boruto's reaction before even that. Because when how he reacts to Sarada's, because I know this is how this all started. Bara saying like Sarada's fault for Boruto getting a scar, but like his immediate reaction to the scar and stuff like that. So did we read the page before this one?
I don't remember. I can just read it real quick. I guess so, but so much was happening back then all at once. Wasn't much of a point in worrying about an eye. I mean, hey, doesn't it kind of up my handsomeness a bit? Makes me look tougher. And then Sarada says, "You really are an idiot."
Okay, so yeah.
Right. Yeah. He knows he got an aura upgrade by that.
So he's not even tripping. He's not even tripping about the scar though. He's not even tripping.
The crazy thing is after this whole debacle, IRL, I see people with like one eye. I see them with more aura. Like I don't know. I don't know. It just feels like it.
That's crazy.
And then we just have the situation with her getting filled in on Code. Code is targeting me. Boruto says most likely he plans to take you hostage and hand you off to the Shinju in order to use you as bait to lure me in. During the fight with Mamushi, Code left claw marks in various places around the village. He could appear at any time. We've got no choice but to shrink him with Kawakisuke Hikona. The police force already has their hands full searching around for them. Depending on what he taps, there's a danger of info leaks.
Oh.
And then Sarada says, "I see. The reason we came all the way out here was so that Code couldn't listen in. Yeah, that's true, but it was really to hand over these. These are Sarada, the reason I told you about Code's plan wasn't just to warn you to be careful. Sarada, I want you to get captured by him. He'll probably take you to the Shinju's hideout. Don't worry about those don't worry. Using those symbols, I'll teleport right to you. So I'll be a decoy then. Yeah, listen, no matter where he takes you, throw the symbols away from you the second you get there. Why? So I can sense the chakra I infused into those pins as quickly as possible. If someone's holding them, sensing the chakra becomes more difficult."
This is where I get a little bit confused. First things first.
Yeah.
What's the overall plan here? I mean, so he's planning on leading Sarada to the Shinju that wants her to be devoured, so he can assist alongside the Shinju who wants him devoured. I'm confused here.
I'm along the idea because like Boruto has to be thinking Code is dumb enough to bring her to just Hidari maybe or something like that. Because I'm like, what's the whole point if Sarada gets taken to Jura and Code tries to bargain? Because Code doesn't know that. Well, maybe he does because he's probably been listening in. But maybe what if Code just brings her to Jura? So Boruto's plan must be to then teleport to Jura and then proceed to get your ass whooped again. So I'm like, what's the whole point of that? So he has to be banking on the idea that she's gonna be taken to Hidari, and this is the best way to take on Hidari and Hidari alone. Maybe they use some type of other decoy to draw out Jura. Maybe Himawari, they use her or something like that. It has to be deeper than this, because like, yeah, Barbara, I agree. Right now, like, it don't seem too bright to just get taken to Jura and then just proceed to get, because y'all gonna get whooped, bro. Let's keep it a beam.
Go ahead.
I don't know, you can go first. I was gonna say that I feel like it's hitting two birds with one stone, because in Code's situation, they know Code's coming at some point. Boruto can't be around the village 24/7 watching her. Code can still do a lot of damage in the village. Not to mention Hidari could show up whenever to come to Sarada. So you're kind of leaving the situation open for the village to get attacked again. while you could just say, screw it, we'll just fake a capture to Code, get Code out of the village, which in turn leads us to the Ten Tails dimension. You gotta remember, once those pins are thrown, as long as Boruto hides those pins, he now has easy access to the Ten Tails dimension whenever. So, just like how they went into Ishiki's time space, whenever they need to go back there, he can just go back there. So now you're setting a save point, and then you're also leaving the option of potentially saving Sasuke, because as long as you play it smart, there is a good chance you could retreat if something goes wrong, as long as you bring backup, like you guys said, maybe Himawari, maybe Kawaki, or maybe whoever. So I don't think it's necessarily a full Hail Mary. I'm gonna go there and get beat. I think it's a big brain plan where you're making different setups and you're trying for that best result of making that save point, leaving the village out of it this time, and trying to set up these goals to get Sasuke back and maybe even trip up Jura a bit.
I absolutely agree. But at the same time, in the same chapter, his plan already got a hiccup in it. And we haven't gotten to that part yet, so I'm not trying to divulge too much into the Koji bit, but it's like that's why I like this chapter, because I think one of y'all brought up earlier how this chapter was doing like two things at once or something. Was that Ryzen or Bar? One of y'all said that. But
I think it was
this
Ryzen.
is is like the type of the feel that I'm enjoying, because now it's like Boruto always had so many different subplots and mini plots going throughout his story, but it's always operated in like, we got to take care of this one, and then we're going to move on to the next. But now so many things intertwine this chapter to where the plan does still seem crazy, but I see how it could work, like how Ryzen just explained it with Sarada. Yet at the same time, how much of that was pre-divulged with Kashin Koji and relies on coordination with Kashin Koji in the future once the plan is actually in motion and Code makes his move against Sarada. So all of that has to be taken into account, how far like people like this guy Amato is willing to go. But even what was the plan from the jump from Boruto's case, and now is it completely ruined? Maybe it was to bring in Kawaki and he was going to tell him later, but we know the nonsense Kawaki's up to right now. So it's like, what's going on? So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that. I mean, I just want to see how this plays out. My original idea was, hypothetically, if we were assuming that Sarada would probably be able to take on Hidari, not necessarily saying she'd fully be able to 1v1 Hidari, but if she'd be able to hold her own, you got to assume she'd be able to beat Code. And so, like, I don't even think they should be worrying about Code pulling up on Sarada, and this plan shouldn't even be a thing. But if the idea is that Boruto is setting things up for things in the future, if he's playing 4D chess right now, I'd understand the play. Because, like, again, if we're really thinking that Code is a peon and he can't really kill Sarada because we think Sarada is actually like that, he should be setting up the secondary play. He should be thinking a little bit beyond that. Because Code right now, let's be honest, he shouldn't be taking up any brain power for us.
I don't think he can fold Sarada, but if she's gonna be withholding herself from Ohirume, it's just one of those unironic situations where Code's timing just works for him. So it just plays into his ego to where he's confident enough to where he probably already thought like, I could probably handle anyone in the village. It's just Boruto that's the problem and stuff like that. So now he's approaching Sarada, and ironically enough, she's having her issue with her eyesight, and hopefully she's gonna limit herself from using Ohirume to where Code has the idea like, yeah, I can handle a situation like this. But even on top of that, now they're going to use him as a decoy. So she's going to allow herself to get captured. So it's going to be interesting to even see how that conversation goes. How can Sarada even play it out? Because I know she's been getting a lot of gripe, especially how people's like, oh, she was the one who slipped up against the Ryu when they were talking and stuff like that. But I don't know. Sarada's slick, bro. Sarada is low-key slick. And Boruto gave her a couple of pins. So even that, like, figuring out how to hide a couple of pins, because it's obvious if she gets taken somewhere and then boom, Jura sees her throw a pin, he's going to probably pick it up, be like, what the fuck is this? You know? So I think that's a little keynote where Ikimoto purposely showed us Boruto giving her more than one pin. So she might do some ninja tactics to where, A, she's throwing Jura and the audience off or all this extra stuff. But I'm trying to see how all of that plays out, especially how she's going to purposefully allow herself to get captured by Code without Code seeing through it, even though we know Code isn't that smart.
You know, she's a ninja, so I expect her to be able to do something like that. That's something probably like you'll see in like the academy, a graduation exam or something like that, or the tuning exam. You'll see that in tuning exam, 100%.
All right, so Sarada says, "I see. Okay, anything else?" Boruto stays silent. She says, "Boruto." Boruto says, "Of course, I'm hoping all goes well, but it's a dangerous plan. Like you guys said, there is that chance he gets that run back on Jura, and Jura just completely pummels him again. We might encounter unforeseen circumstances, but Sarada, don't throw away that hope, no matter what happens." We switch back to Hidari and Jura's weird situation. Hidari, oh, you want to say something, Bora?
Yeah, I question why he believed he shouldn't wait until after Kashin Koji has another update at this point. Because
I see your point.
we're thinking
Boruto
might make
grown. He got his own. He gonna be everyday coaching. Oh, Koji, should I do this? Koji, should I do that?
See, I see both of your points, but we also got to remember we have no idea if Boruto and Koji talked. We don't know if any of this was pre-planned. Just like how we didn't see what Boruto and Kawaki talked about until the Jura fight, where we find out that dude did let him in on the sand mission, and dude told him to come get us once you get your limiters removed. So for all we know, part of this could be Koji's plan.
What's also important is too, like you said, we don't know what could have been said in the point of the conversation between Boruto and Savada. When they transition, you see the wind blowing through the trees, so that lets us know that there's probably parts of the conversation that Ikimoto didn't show us. So whenever we do get flashback, we might even get more important exposition on Boruto divulging like, oh, whether this is something him and Koji came up with or not, or even prior to him even revealing like, oh, Code is targeting her, because he could have been telling her a whole lot of other things, and then that led into him saying, yo, Code is targeting you.
100%. Then we switch back to Hidari. Jura says, "Hidari, you've been reading quite fervently these days, and the same book at that. Is it really that amusing? What is it now? Show me." Hidari says, "I'm not reading it. I'm just looking at it." Jura gets a shocked reaction. He says, "You."
Niggas perplexed.
"What's this? There's not a single word of information on this page. There are only pictures of cats. That's why I said I'm just looking. You really are an interesting fellow. Jura, what do you think of this book?" Jura says, "There's nothing to think about it. There's not a single letter. How am I supposed to learn?" Hidari says, "Don't you think they're kind of cute?" And that ends the Shinju part of the chapter, I'm pretty sure.
Nigga Hidari been staring at cats the last 3 months, bro, which is crazy.
Yeah, man. When I first saw the book in his hand, I'm thinking he probably reading through the Uchiha Encyclopedia. He probably reading about the Mangekyo Sharingan. He's probably looking at the BS scroll that the Zetsu wrote. Like he looking at cats.
Nah, bro. He reading magazines and picture books. That's all. Because the last book he learned the words, so we know at least one of the books had words in it. At the very least, that he was reading.
That's true.
Dude been staring at cats for 4 hours straight, though, according to Jura.
One of the cats did look like that cat as well, the Uchiha cat.
Word. That bro probably reminiscing. That's crazy. Hidari finding solace in Sasuke's memories is insane.
It could be that. Imagine that Uchiha cat is his next target. That'd be crazy.
That'd be funny, but also my mic turned off, which is funny as hell. I'm saying, Sasuke is a cat person. At the end of the day, Hidari is not doing anything Sasuke wouldn't do. Sasuke, of course, has inhibitions. So Sasuke, if you remove his inhibitions, it makes sense that he would be a cat person.
Yeah.
100%.
That's wild.
And Jura's just perplexed. Cute. What's cute?
That boy Jura, he's like, bro, what's going on with them, bro? It's like Jura trying to get some validation from Hidari, and Hidari just out here being himself. Like
But you
low
know,
Yeah,
key,
these
Jura
niggas
should
looking
call
at
this nigga
cats.
Hidari creepy. You like, bro, you should be creepy.
you know what's funny? It's kind of the inverse of Naruto and Sasuke's relationship. Sasuke is, for the most part, that intellectual dude. Naruto's probably, if he has any books, they're probably picture books. So it's interesting to see how the inverse of Sasuke is kind of that quote unquote idiot who's just not reading, while Jura, the humanoid tailed beast, who you can compare him to Naruto, is that person who doesn't necessarily read a lot and just doesn't absorb information through texts like Sasuke and Jura do.
You know? And still, in both realities, Naruto is still trying to get Sasuke's validation. It don't matter what world.
Yeah, man, this is crazy.
That's
Then
crazy.
we have then we have Amado, and I got a really weird feeling when I saw him wave to Inojin. I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna go into depth, but it's just weird.
Oh wait,
Oh,
yeah,
there he is. Hey, Inojin-kun, Amado-san.
Yeah, nah, this is wild. He should have
yeah,
known. He should,
yeah, bro.
you know,
Inojin
he didn't
called
even
it out
point it
though.
out.
He
Why?
called it out. He played it cool, bro. Shout
Yeah,
out my guy Inojin.
yeah, like why is this dude outside? Like, what's going on? Naruto let him out. Oh, no, my bad. Shikamaru let him out.
He said
Like
Shikamaru.
where's Sumire through this all? Like, isn't she supposed to be watching it? Like,
Yeah,
Sarada left the hospital. So like, what's Sumire doing right now?
she has to be keeping tabs on it. We probably
Like,
want to see in the next chapter, chapter 36. We all of a sudden Sumire is relaying all
We
the
gotta chalk it
information.
up. She doing scientific ninja stuff, bro. She be in the
it's
lab
just
now.
it's just
She be
really
in the
funny
lab.
that every time Amado gives exposition to Kawaki, Sumire is conveniently put in a position where she's just not there.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know why. I mean, there's sometimes Sumire pops her head in. I can
Nah,
recall
she been in a
sometimes.
lot of the conversations, but it's just like this last few times. It's just been a
Yeah,
lot of
they're
one-on-one.
important stuff.
All right, so we get Amado with his little flash drive thing. Here's the data report we gathered from the Mamushi fight. It might be of some use in the future battle. If you meet him, can you hand this over? Him? Are you talking about Boruto? No, the rumored accomplice, Kashin Koji. You've met him personally, haven't you? I mean, even if you want me to hand it over, that person is in a strange place. Shouldn't I hand it off to Boruto instead? If it's Koji, he should know how important this data is. If you show him, he'll understand. Inojin says, I see. It's rare to see Amado-san outside. Do you know what's going to unfold from here on out? No. There's already a development. This is already a development we have no preconceived notions of. Tempaths hasn't gotten any new updates. We can't see what will happen. Huh? Then what should we do with this scroll flash drive? Let's retrieve it for now, but just to be safe, we won't confirm the contents until after a new update occurs. I see. If we wait until we know the results, no matter what we do, then it'll be right. So Koji's toad takes the scroll. He reverse summons the scroll to himself.
Here's where he gets caught lacking.
Facts.
Up until this point, do we think Koji did anything wrong?
I
As
feel
far
like
as like what?
As far as like him screening Amato or trying to understand the danger, he did say we're not going to open it until he gets another update. Do we think he did anything wrong to get caught lacking, or is Amato just that different?
I mean, he slipped up because at the end of the day, in the last battle, he had to reveal his identity because everybody was connected through the link. So now he knows. But at the very least, when you're playing chess, you have to know you got to make certain sacrifices that you were holding on to prior because now you're further along in the game. So maybe that's something that Koji was willing to give up at this point. It's like a select few. All right, boom. Yeah, my name is Kashin Koji. Y'all probably know me from back in the day. Yeah, that's how it is. And just Amato happens to be so one of them. But we're not even there yet. But yeah, I don't know because it's not really his fault because it's not like he was about to do anything. All he did was pick up the scroll, and then we see how it played out. And plus, he's waiting for an update. So this wasn't in the previous future. So we can't say but he got caught slipping though. Yeah, he still
I
got caught
agree.
slipping.
I agree. He definitely did get caught slipping because if he was able to anticipate what Code is gonna do, he should have anticipated a situation in where Amado might have been shady. Especially because I feel like other than a few people, Koji knows Amado better than almost anyone. He's been with Amado for years. You would think he would be more careful, especially when it comes to Amado. But I guess yeah, I agree with you guys. It's something that he had to like try or just do.
Yeah.
Mm.
Then Kawaki appears. Koji's about to go for the strike, but when he notices Kawaki, he kind of stops.
Hmm.
So I wonder. I really want to see Koji's like state in the next few chapters, because with Koji you never know, and Uchiha brought this up. Like things don't make sense with Koji, so for all we know, this could be a whole bluff or whatever. But
I'm
we
about to
have
say, yeah. Next chapter is going to reveal between the two who's really like big brain between Amato and Kashin Koji.
yes, but we have this. Amado says this is the end of your road, Kashin Koji. That's the shutdown code. He
Mhm.
collapses. Kawaki picks him up. Well, I guess he had an emergency shutdown code too, huh? I'll transport us to the lab using the summoning feature. Put your hand on the frog if you don't want to be left behind, that is. Crazy mad scientist. Amado concocts a shrewd plan to kidnap Kashin Koji using Kawaki. What is his goal? And then that ends chapter 35.
That nigga
Yeah.
Amato's a snake, boy.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. My idea is, I don't think they're going to be too confrontational with Kashin Koji. I think Amato just really wants to talk to him.
I agree.
especially for the Kibi thing. We've been talking a bunch about how that could be potentially what he really wants to talk to Kashin Koji about. I honestly think that'll probably be in the next chapter. Now, how long will he stay in the Hidden Leaf Village? That's going to be a question in itself. It can't be that long. Like, let's be honest. They're probably going to be like, why is Jiraiya's chakra signature in the Leaf Village? But then again, they didn't notice it before. So we can't just automatically assume they'll notice it. But I feel like this will probably be like a short, little solid, say 2-3 chapters max situation where he's in the leaf. I think he's going back to his cave in a few.
I agree. So I also think it's impossible for Boruto not to immediately figure out what happened, because like let's say he goes back to the hideout and he doesn't find Koji. He's gonna ask around. He's gonna ask Ada. If Ada suddenly stops talking, he's gonna realize that if she's not talking, it's gonna have something to do with Kawaki. So then he's gonna immediately pinpoint that Amado got him. So like it's not. I don't feel like it's gonna be a situation to where Boruto's just gonna keep questioning where Koji is.
Yeah, 100%. And it's gonna be interesting to see if they even like involve Boruto. We're assuming that, of course, Amato has his own plan, and it's not necessarily going to be parallel to anything that Boruto wants to do. I just feel like Boruto is going to at least like knock on Amato's door or something. If he figured, well, I feel like once he figures it out, what's really going on here? I don't think they could just kidnap his sensei.
And depending on how they go about this, Koji being captured could be a good thing for Boruto's side. I feel like it just depends on whether this toad comes back. Because if Inojin gets that toad back, he can connect with Koji whenever Koji activates that link. So if that toad is still, it like goes back to Inojin, or if there were two toads and Inojin still has a toad, then they have a man on the inside. Then they can finally watch Koji, who for the better part of TBV has been the one doing the watching. So it might be a situation where they look at the silver lining, because we had this whole page about Koji saying, "Oh yeah, we have you. Once I let you know through the toad to connect everyone, you have to connect everyone." And I just think it just has to depend on whether Inojin keeps the toad, whether it comes back, whether it's reverse summoned back or whatever. As long as he has a toad, Koji can make contact again.
Are we assuming that? Do we assume Boruto also has a toad, or of Kashin Koji's, of course?
It's possible. He does have a few different toads. That could also be the play. I just think as long as the toad is in play, they're good. Now, if that toad is just stuck there, because we gotta remember, the toad is still here at the base, right? Yeah. So if it doesn't get reverse summoned to Inojin, once Boruto pops back up in the base, he will find that toad. Boruto will have that toad. He has a bunch of different ways to play this. If he gives back that toad to Inojin, then we're in a situation where now Koji is kind of that double agent, where now he can give them information while still even being stuck by Amado. Now he can actually keep an eye on Amado's plans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, yeah, 100%, 100%. The crazy thing is, I think he's gonna get an update in the next chapter that could pretty much like get him out of whatever situation he's in currently. I think that's a tricky part with Kashin Koji as well. I mean, I think without any updates, just mind wise, just tactically, I assume Amato's probably better than Kashin Koji as of right now. But once he gets the update, I think it's over. I think everything is essentially in Kashin Koji's hands at that point. And of course, I don't think they're going to be able to tell once he actually does get an update.
100%. And it also depends on what Amado wants to hear. Like, of course, he wants to hear if Akemi can be brought back. But if Koji says, "Oh yeah, in every timeline I've seen so far, that we never get up to that point," Amado's gonna have to play ball at some point because if the world ends, you're not getting Akemi back regardless of what you want. Koji is not a miracle worker; he can only see what's gonna happen. If that never happens, then you're responsible for changing the future to have that happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
maybe he just wants to try to control the power for himself without any question at the very least.
I agree 100%.
So,
also, I wouldn't necessarily put it past Amado to want to figure out how he got the 10 directions. Now, of course, he understands that he implemented the Ishiki Otsuki cells, or I'm not Ishiki cells, the Shibai cells, however that goes, the DNA. But I think he wants to know specifically when did he get it? Was it what were the means behind it? And of course, we kind of know already he was in like a near-death experience, and all of a sudden it just popped up. I think he's probably going to try to recreate some of that with probably some potential future experiments as well. I'm assuming that he still has some sort of Shibai cells left over. He might try to recreate it, and of course, if he does, he'd essentially have the 10 tails or the 10 directions power for himself.
He might be thinking something along those lines, but at the very least, he wants to understand it, though. Because he might be on some stuff like, when did you awaken these abilities? How did you survive Ishiki? All the way back to that. But ultimately, the main purpose is the fact that you can see the future. Yeah, I need to know information on my daughter. So that's definitely it.
That's probably going to be the main one of the main ways. And to be, the crazy thing is, hypothetically, Kashin Koji tells Amado that you'll get your daughter back, but it has nothing to do with Kawaki. Matter of fact, I'll even go past. If he just says there's no potential future where you actually do get your daughter back, bro, he might just dispose of Kawaki at that point. He might not even care about him anymore. Like,
dispose of Kawaki is crazy.
For real. I mean, literally, like Kawaki said on multiple occasions he wanted him dead. What are you talking about? For sure, and especially if now like Kawaki is fully autonomous with just Amado. Now it's like Amado is not really having to bargain with Kawaki. Like, he knows he has a shut off code. I feel like it'll probably just be a matter of Kawaki tries to kill Amado, and Amado is just trying to get rid of Kawaki at that point.
I mean, shit, he knows Kawaki knows he has a shut up code too. Go to sleep, Kawaki.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. At that point, once Kawaki realized that Amado doesn't really need him, like Kawaki might just try to kill him, like just so he never really has to worry about that shut off code again.
But it goes back to what Momoshiki said. You're gonna let people continue using you until you're eventually fed to the God tree, bro. And right now, it still looks like that. So, because I know a lot of people, I'm not even gonna try to draw the comparison here because I don't want to take it that way. But let me just say this: for Kawaki's case, he needs to let loose of Amado. He's too reliant on Amado. He needs to ensure, like, bro, that whole shebang that you're doing, I need control of all of that. Like, at the very least, the only time I need to go to you is if you say, like, I need a maintenance update. And I don't even want to have no damn maintenance update. Damon don't come to you for no damn maintenance update, nigga. You feel me? So, like, I don't need no maintenance update. Allow me to be able to control my power at will. I'm going to figure out how to operate my offense and defense on my own. You say it's something like chakra control. I'm going to learn that, all right? That he needs to stand his ground and cut Amado loose. But Amado's still drawing him along. And now he's trying to gain even more leverage through Kashin Koji to like you said, might possibly get to a point where he don't even need Kawaki no more.
Yeah, and to be honest, all due respect, this is not looking well for my prediction upon how Kawaki should be gaining power and getting better. My assumption was he'd learn jutsu and then train with Kashin Koji. Now,
Be for real.
overall, I don't get me wrong, I thought this would happen relatively soon, and just his recent power up lets me believe that it'll happen soon, but not as soon as I thought it would be. I thought he realized after he's at 100% attack potency, he now has to actually learn jutsus. Now he realized he wasn't at 100% attack potency. Now we have to wait until he actually gets beat at 100% attack potency from to actually learn jutsus. But again, him kidnapping Kashin Koji puts him on like the naughty list for Kashin Koji. Like he have to ask Kashin Koji, "Hey, can you train me?" If Kashin Koji says no, it's like he's out of luck at that point. And I don't
At
think
this
Kashin
point, what do
Koji
you
is like
even do?
happy.
Like, at this point, what do we even know what Kashin Koji is going to say? Like, he's been avoiding a model for a reason. So, like, once he
Yeah.
wakes up, if he wakes up, like, who knows how many wires is inside of his brain at this point? Pause. Like, for all we know, Koji waking up without consent right now. So he's probably like, bro, no, bro. Or, like I said, it might be some big brain plan and he anticipated it and he's trying to play along. But who knows how it's going to play? But
Well,
I don't know, man. Because
100%.
it's.
Uh,
No, go ahead.
no, I was about to say 100%. To be honest, I'd go even further. I'd say there's a non-zero chance Amato dies in the next chapter. We might see a 2v1 Amato versus Kashin Koji and Kawaki. They
I
might
don't
just say,
even
all right,
think
it's time to pack
I
up.
don't even think it's. I don't think a fight is even going to break out. If we're being honest, it's more so going to be like a thing where like Koji is obviously caught by surprise and he's going to wake up whether he's restrained or not. That's why I'm saying we got to see how it goes down because if he wakes up, let's say he's restrained, then we obviously know it's going to be a hostile situation. What if he wakes up and he's on the table? Well, then Koji's going to be thinking, okay, what did he do while I was asleep? How much control does he have of my brain? So he's going to be testing the waters and see how far the conversation is willing to go. Like, I guarantee it's going to be something along those lines to where the conversation is gonna go deep. It might go as far as towards like Ishiki and even Shiba Otsutsuki, and then we're gonna draw the connections to Delta. But ultimately, it's gonna be about the prescience. And I feel like Amato's not gonna have enough, so where he's gonna have to personally ask Koji, what did you see? Maybe Amato can look at Koji's memories, maybe he can't. Maybe he can only look at it in terms of data and numbers, so he can't actually see what Kasa Koji sees and knows, but he just understands how much Kasa Koji sees and knows.
Hmm.
I think it also goes back to the Kawaki situation where it was futile to attack him when Kawaki woke up because at the end of the day, all he has to really do is say a couple words and then Amado will just shut him off again. So like you're just gonna keep going around in circles. I feel like the most opportune moment is just to try to outsmart him because we know he can make modifications to
Yeah,
Koji, but I don't think he can go so far as to control Koji because at the end of the day, if he could do that for Kawaki, he would have did it and had him revive Akabi years ago.
yeah, that's
Same
true.
thing with same thing with Delta. If he could program Delta to act exactly like Akabi personality wise in the beginning, he wouldn't be in the situation. So I think Koji will still have his own consciousness. He'll still have his own autonomy to the extent where as long as he doesn't piss off Amado, he's not gonna get shut down. But I think we're gonna have to be in a diplomatic situation. Koji at the end of the day wants to save the world. Amado doesn't care about the world if his daughter's not in it. So you have to find that fine line of getting Amado to back off, but also vice versa, getting Koji to be willing to play ball, and and you basically end up in a Kawaki situation where you're both using each other to enhance your goals, to get to your goal. So I want to see that 4D chess talk between the two.
Yeah.
I see it. I see it. 100%. Well, I guess since we finished reading the chapter, did y'all want to go over some ratings of the overall chapter?
Sure.
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, if I had to give mine first, I'd probably say this is solid 8.5 out of 10, pushing 9 to be honest. The thing about this particular chapter, there's a lot of things that was forward in terms of plot, and also some brand new things that was actually introduced. First things first, we got the I guess the rundown of the brand new arc that we're essentially going to go into, the Hidari arc, I guess if you want to call it that. We're still in the overall Shinju arc, but we're going into the Hidari portion of it, and Boruto essentially finally laid out the overall plan. Also,
Mhm.
we pretty much got a Kawaki power up. Always going to be a good thing in my eyes, but of course, I disagree with how the power up is and how it and how it feels for my guy Kawaki. I talked about that a little bit earlier. How it just takes away the autonomy of Kawaki and the practicality of it. I question because I'm not sure how Amato. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Amato would be able to keep up with the reaction time needed in a Kawaki battle. I'd say that it is possible, but I doubt it. Also, the fact, I mean, let's be honest, we just talked about it. Kashin Koji finally got touched. Like he was pretty much Mr. Untouchable this whole entire series. I say in TBV specifically, he
Facts.
was Mr. Untouchable. He finally got touched. I feel like that in itself makes this chapter like extremely entertaining. So solid 8.5.
Facts.
I
I would
agree.
say I would give it a 9 out of 10. It's a pretty great chapter. I'm excited to see more of the translations once we get the full one dropping tomorrow. But it's a pretty great chapter. I ain't gonna lie, I love it, and I like that the aspect of the contradictions that's going on because we see Boruto's plan with Sarada, how that's supposed to quote unquote unfold, and we're still questioning how much of that was actually divulged with Kashin Koji. But now we understand Kashin Koji's current predicament. So as far as even Koji's reaction to when he wakes up into the lab and that back and forth between Amato and what's going down with Kawaki, Deltia, and Akebi, it's like, how does Boruto react to what's going on? Like it's like one of those what the fuck, like dang, bro, like what's going on right now? So I really like that these things happen separately, but they're ultimately diverging. So definitely a 9 out of 10 chapter for me. Always amazing, of course, when what I'm saying, I get to see my favorite characters, and the GOAT Anojin was out here in the chapter moving differently. The guy that's good on all sides, you feel me, but he already knows where he stands 10 toes. Of course, the Queen Sarada, and of course, what I'm saying, we saw some Ada. But it's a great chapter, and I like the approach Ikimoto's taken. Good foundations for the Hadari stuff. Great stuff between Hadari and Jura. Them niggas are top tier comedians. Like I absolutely love it. But ultimately, I don't know, man. Getting into that hideout, playing code is one thing. I'm not even like y'all notice we haven't really even spent much time talking about code throughout this entire pod because it's like it's just, what's there to talk about? You feel me? Like we're not even worried about it. So we already established it. Yeah, Sourdough is even gonna just allow you to capture it because if not, that's gonna be a whole nother thing on its own. You might lose your other hand fucking around with this Uchiha, but um it's gonna be interesting to see what happens once Sarada gets taken to wherever she's taken to. So once Code pulls up, that's why I'm saying I like this, and I hope that he continues this approach. Hopefully, maybe Code pulls up and does this whole shebang while Koji is still in the lab with a model, and that's going down. Or probably Jura is making a move somewhere else. Like, because it's going to be interesting. Like we said, man, if Boruto's plan is to pull up there, like, who are you are you going with someone, or is it just for you and Sarada to do this, and you're operating on the belief that okay, her eyesight is better now, so we can just exploit her Ohiro Jutsu? Which, hey, by all means, y'all know how I feel about that, but all in all, it's interesting to see how it goes. 9 out of 10, fireness, and I hope he continues this style of writing moving forward.
I
Yeah,
agree. Like I couldn't have said it better myself. Like both of you guys really touched upon the core points. I would say an 8 out of 9. What I'm really interested about is that future Kobu talk, which I kind of wish we did get in this chapter, but this chapter had a lot going on, so I understand why. But I really want to see that hypothetical potential Sakura Kobu discussion and see where that leads in.
Oh yeah, that too.
yeah, 100%. I think that's basically like the big thing, huge thing we got to look forward to in this particular chapter as well, or in the future chapters, I should say. Essentially, how that plays out.
Pretty
All
great.
right, yeah, 100%. But all right, so I guess that we could wrap it up for the chapter 35 spoilers review for this particular chapter. I do want to see specifically how, or if anything actually does change when official spoilers do come out. We get to figure out specifically I guess more accurate translations, even though they're not fully one to one, but more accurate translations. But yeah, full chapter comes out, or the full official chapter comes out in was it 4 days from now? So this week.
Tomorrow,
Yeah, it comes out
actually.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
It comes out tomorrow.
I thought it came out the 21st. Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's early this month.
Yeah,
Oh,
full
damn.
chapter is dropping tomorrow.
Oh, damn. I'll 100% tap in.
So yeah, we gotta
100%.
tune in.
Oh, yeah, free. Could you put the super chats on the screen, and we could probably read them. Good looks to my guy Randy Willis. He donated $2. Shout out to my Chris the Beast, that only $5. My guy.
Yes, sir, Chris the Beast.
Oh, I think that's it.
That was them.
My bad, chat. Me and Free Game doing production via Bluetooth right now. So we trying to have that Amato and Kawaki connection.
Y'all see why it won't work, huh?
Exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
But little off topic before we end off. But did you guys know we might be getting a new Naruto card game announcement tomorrow?
Define new Naruto card. How much aura will it have? Like,
that's what I'm wondering. I mean, if you guys have kept up with like the One Piece card game and like the other Bandai IP card games, it's pointing to they might announce a Naruto card game tomorrow. And, if they give us those like manga rares like they do for One Piece, it might get me into another card game in the future.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, everything that they release, I'm going to buy a couple of them just in case they explode in value in like 10.
100%, 100%. I saw One Piece explode, and if they do release a Naruto card game, I might just buy a couple boxes just to keep just somewhere.
100%. Might not even open a couple, just keep it in a package and everything like that.
Yeah, if it succeeds, like, because the One Piece card game has exploded in popularity and in prices too, which is unfortunate for me because I do buy the occasional One Piece packs. But if they release like a Naruto card game and do it right and give us like good art,
so is it a game like you could play against people, or is it just like something?
Yes, it would be like a whole card game, like Pokemon, like Yu-Gi-Oh.
No, I'm saying for the One Piece cards that are already out.
Oh yeah, it's a card game. So you build your deck. I think they have like colored. It's like Mihawk. If I
summon Zoro, niggas ain't rocking with me.
It's like Zoro's a green card, so you'd use him as a green deck. This Luffy's green, I think. So like, I don't know too much about the rules, but it's like this Mihawk. He has effects and stuff, so you can build a Mihawk deck, I guess. So like, it would be interesting to see having them bring back like a Naruto card game for the first time in a while.
Yeah, quick question. For One Piece, do they have any references to the card game in the actual text or manga?
Not from what I've seen in the anime. Well, I wouldn't know because I don't. You would have to watch both, I guess, keep up with both to know. But I don't. I don't keep up with the card game, so I couldn't say.
I don't think so. I think the closest thing is like you have Boruto with their own world having like a card game, like those Naruto X cards that they have in verse.
I'm more so trying to see how they essentially got to pop up because Boruto, as you just pointed out, they were really pushing their card game, and I bought a couple of those myself just to dabble. As I said, I'm buying anything they release.
They had the Boruto Ninja cards. They had those.
With the
they had like a set. It wasn't like a full game, but they did have a Boruto little card game thing.
So. And as far as trying to see the differences, would you think that would be like a necessity, like actually establishing a playable game for the cards?
Oh no, not really. I mean, Dragon Ball has a card game. My Hero has a card game. Bleach isn't a card game, so you don't really need the anime. It's more like, can you make the game rules be good, but also is the IP popular enough? So, like for example, Naruto tried the card game years ago. Sure, initially it was hyped up, but the game was just, from what I understand, just bad to play. So that popularity wasn't enough to keep the card game just sustainable. Unlike One Piece, where you have One Piece's popularity, but also you have that core fan base that just likes to play the game, so they're just gonna keep buying the cards.
Okay.
So while Boruto does have that thing where they have their card game, they have a card game in verse, but I think that might be a small boost in where they could do it like this, and this can be like the design or whatever.
Yeah, they could turn it
But,
like
but
that.
but I don't think it really matters on the success of the card game, because we've seen so many different animes get card games, and the card game isn't relevant to like the anime. The anime characters aren't going to be playing cards, but they're still popular because of good game mechanics. But also, you see Goku, you want to pull Goku. You see Luffy, you want to pull Luffy.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, I see it 100%. But speaking of, I mean, they used to have like, I forgot the actual systems for these Naruto cards that we're seeing right now on screen. How rare do you think a Boruto TBV card would be? Would they even make that?
What's the highest one? Triple S or what is it? Or
I have no
S?
idea.
In Boruto, it's the SSR. I don't know how they would do
SSR.
rarities in this Boruto, in like this Naruto game. But from what I understand, if they do release a Naruto card game, it would be a while before we get to Boruto. Because from my line of thought is they would start from the Lane of Waves arc and then move their way up.
Yeah, 100%.
Man, look, man, we done with the 90s, bro. We niggas got dusted ADs at this point, bro. We did it.
I mean, it's nostalgia. I mean, as much as I don't like it, as much as I would want a Boruto base 1 set, you know they're looking at their at their pie charts, and they're saying nah.
Now
we could make
Shippuden up to war.
Yeah.
So that's what.
But nostalgia sells. So like a Haku card, a Zabuza card, you're gonna get people buying. If you start off with Boruto, as much as I like Boruto, that might not be a great idea in a card game.
Yeah.
Like the anime, sure.
Start out with Boruto. I'm saying they should start out with Shippuden up to the war.
Yeah,
like 6 Paths Naruto, 4 Tails Naruto.
But see, here's the problem.
Have like bonus cards from part 1.
The issue.
I wouldn't mind some day one Boruto releases, like the
like
fan
a promo
favorites.
card. Yeah. I feel like if you go too fast into Shippuden, you remove the hype aspect of it. Because if you build up from part 1, you're gonna start getting bigger and better cards, and we're looking at it as like an iconic factor, but we also got to look at it through gameplay. If you release 6 Path Sage Mode Naruto as a card first, and then you do a part 1 Naruto a couple sets down the line, that part 1 Naruto has to be made stronger than that Sage 6 Path Naruto
to compete.
To compete if it's weaker.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the part 1 cards should be like bonus cards, like fan favorites or popular cards, and they could be released as like part of the first set. But the main focus should be like from Shippuden up to the war arc. So like they start with the Shippuden stuff. So base Naruto, base Sasuke, all that extra stuff, and then have bonus cards from part 1. Like, oh, here goes a Curse Mark Stage 2 part 1 Sasuke. Here goes what's the name? One Tails, Naruto from part 1. Or here goes a Haku. Here goes a Zabuza.
I can see that 100%. We also got to remember we need longevity. You need longevity. So like if you're spamming the part 1 sets, that buys you a crazy amount of time and hype for part 2. So it's a whole marketing strategy. If you're playing these cards and you have so many part 1 Naruto cards and you're collecting them, by the time you start getting inklings of Shippuden, of the time skip, you're gonna get that dopamine hit and go out and buy the new set, other than just being given those hype cards immediately, with the part 1 sets being like those promos and those special sets.
That's what I'm saying though. At this point, who are they really trying to hit with the nostalgia? Because like for me, I mean personally, yeah, when I was growing up, Naruto was being shown on Cartoon Network. But I'm at a point where I could also remember being a kid and Shippuden was being shown on Disney XD. You feel me? So like for me, Shippuden is my nostalgia just as much as like a nigga that's like 10 years older than me would say part one Naruto is their nostalgia. So that's what I'm
You
saying. So
you'd
like,
be surprised.
I get where both y'all coming from, to be
You'd be
honest.
surprised, Uchiha. Naruto Kaio cards. They're not a card game, but they're collectible Naruto cards. They're really popular in China to the point where people in the U.S. and people in other countries were buying them off from China. And they got so popular that they recently released them in the U.S. And they started with the Zabuza arc, and those sold like crazy. And me personally, at my Walmart, whenever they drop the Naruto Kaio cards, they go out just like that. So we can say, who are they marketing it to, but nostalgia sells, especially part one. Like part one sells like hotcakes. So
No, I get where
was that
both y'all coming
motherfucking
from.
was that
I,
was that Don? Was that Honda? Was that Tsunade's brother?
now that was Kabuto.
No, go down. I could have sworn I saw. Keep going.
Oh yeah,
Right there.
it was Don. I mean, he is a part one character when you think about
Who's
it.
who's buying Don, bro? Who's buying this guy, bro? Like, what are we?
I mean,
This
yeah,
isn't
you
even a
are.
game. Correct me. Is this a game
Chill.
or is this just like for like
It's collecting.
aesthetic?
It's
Hashirama
not a
fans would.
game. It's aesthetic,
Hashi-
yeah.
We're collecting
Hashirama fans
Dan,
would.
bro. Like, come on, we collecting Dan.
And then you have the
If you
Boruto cards as the promo cards.
if
Is
you're
that
a Hashirama
Shisui?
stan
Hold on,
and
bro.
you're
Bro,
coming
before
from
my
that
eyes.
tree,
Don't deceive me before my eyes. Is that Shisui or is that Itachi? Oh, that's
Itachi.
Itachi.
you,
All right, okay. You see, look at that. Stage 2, part 1 Sasuke. Look at that right up there. And then another version of him right there, Chidori, Naruto. See, you could take out like a few of these and just throw it in with Shippuden. Because, like, honestly, I'm just going for I'm speaking from a
but
personal opinion.
but how
So they
odd
would have to
come?
gather like the majority's rules. So like it could just be more niggas who think like how Ryzen is saying and just rock with part one. Like I'm cool with part one, but at the same time I'm like, all right, bro, like
But
yeah,
I'd kind of do both ways. Now I understand where y'all coming from. I'd essentially do where the most common card you'd find would be the Land of Waves card, the first set, of course, Land of Waves card, and of course the Shooting Exam cards. But I might throw maybe 20 Kage Naruto's out there, just like in the whole set. So maybe on eBay they go for like 20,000 or something like that. But I might
that's
do
what I'm
that. Like I
saying.
might.
You keep the part one cards that are limited, bro. Them Jones gonna sell automatically because that's really gonna keep the nostalgia at its fullest. Because if they do a full set with like Shippuden part one and don't go past like maybe the bridge arc when Naruto went four tails to Orochimaru, don't go past characters up to that point, right? They do a full set, and then you got special characters from part one, like limited editions with like stage 2 Curse Mark Sasuke, four tails. Well, Naruto went four tails in part one, but two tails or whatever tails Naruto went in the final valley against Sasuke and Naruto. You get Zabuza, you get Haku, you get some Kakashi. I don't know who niggas like. Orochimaru, definitely.
Yeah, I
A
can
lot
definitely
of
see that.
cool people. Because when you get to Shippuden, you already could rock with the people everybody like the Itachis and then the Obitos and all that. But like we'll eventually get to that. But like early Shippuden, we still got Itachi, we got Hidan, we got you know what I'm saying Kakuzu. You feel me? We got what's the name? What's the old dude name? Kisame, bro. We got some nice people up in here.
No, yeah,
They got
100%.
Asuma. Like they got some good stuff to go deep with part one with Shippuden before they even reach to like the Five Kage Summit, and they start releasing those type of characters. And then you can release the limited part ones, and boom, 50,000 a card, 50,000 a set, 100,000 a set.
I don't think we'll go that crazy, but I see it like
if they make five Karama mode Naruto doing like what they call it in part one, the Vermilion Rasengan. 5 of those. Boom. Only got 5 of them niggas out. I guarantee you somebody who might have 2 of them or 3 of them, he can get away with 25 bands, 25,000, 50,000, almost 100,000 just for those 2 cards.
And that's what that's what I was talking about with the rare cards. You could start off with the most common ones being the first basic ones, but the more you go up, let them be rare and rare. That's all I believe. And then once you release more of the, let's say, the packages and stuff like that. Let's say we move forward to now the Sasuke retrieval arc. Now those characters get significantly more frequent, even though they might have been out, but they were rare. Now they're more frequent. Now once we get to Shippuden, now the Shippuden characters more frequent. Yeah, I just feel like that's how
I mean,
could
you
be.
know, at the end of the day, just looking at like the One Piece prices, you know, it might be beneficial to keep a few boxes just stored in case Naruto faces that same
But
traction.
if you do that, if you do something like that too, Bara, like release them more later on, you would have to release them as a different version. So the first ones that got
Yeah, of
released,
course.
say like they do, like they they drop a whole set, right? They got thousands of cards, and they release only 100 of Curse Mark Part One's Sasuke. Only 100 of those cards exist. Those 100 cards got to be SS Rare Part One Sasuke's, and then the next time they have a set, they release thousands of those Part One Curse Mark
Well,
Sasuke. They got to be like a common, or got to be like a regular. You know what I'm saying?
But you know,
well,
also,
Mhm.
I was gonna say, you know, we also got to look at it from a game development aspect, where if I'm gonna build a deck, it has to be viable against something. So, like for example, I'm making a Land of Waves Team 7 deck. So if we're following, if the booster set is Land of Waves, then you have to have like your Zabuza deck, your Haku deck, your
Mhm.
Kakashi. So they have to fit a style. Like if you just throw in one Hokage Naruto,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, unless he's a promo or a special card, he's gonna feel lopsided to play in the actual game. So we also have to look at it in the gaming aspect, not just as a collector.
Yeah, 100%. Like for example, hypothetically, if I have like a rare Sage Mode Naruto, I once we actually get to the actual releases of, let's say, the Pain arc, I might have an upgraded Naruto, or let's say after that, I might have a Naruto mixed with the Karma mode type of thing, and have that be the actual card that comes out during the actual thing, and that could be like the main common Naruto that's utilized over the Sage mode Naruto, or let's say hypothetically the I'd have like a base Sasuke that comes out, but then a 5 Kage Summit Sasuke that comes out with, of course, the manga Sharingans and stuff like that, which would be stronger than the common one that came out years ago.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah. We got a super chat to get to, free game. Shout out to how do you say that? Save Fly FL921. Shout us $5 donation. I bought a random set of Naruto cards off Temu. They're surprisingly pretty cool. Might have to get in on the authentic ones for real. That's true though. Once you actually get something in person, it probably changes your whole entire perspective just to have them as like good collectibles. So
But hey,
Yeah,
we'll find out tomorrow at like I think 7 a.m. So we'll see. All signs point to Naruto. So here's hoping.
yeah, 100%, 100%. But all right, y'all. I guess we got free game getting a little getting a little restless. So we got to tap out. All right, y'all.
all
Hey,
right.
it's been a pleasure.
I'm about to say you're not gonna do the outro bar. You already did it.
To be
Like
honest, free game always do the outro. I don't know what to say during the outro.
Free game does the outro. I thought you do the
Yeah, the
outros.
free game type the
Oh,
outro.
you do the intros.
Yeah,
You
I'm
do the
doing it.
intros. Oh,
Yeah,
shout out
we
to Super
missing our
Chats,
Kobe
y'all.
right now. We missing our closer. What's going on
I
here?
was like, why does it sound so like crickets? But look, man, shout out all the super chats. We appreciate you guys. Randy Willis, the other guy, the last two guys that we just answered to as well. We appreciate y'all. Great conversations, great pod.
Yeah,
We'll see you
facts.
guys next time. Say Fly F9, 2M. Shout us $5. The last one that we just got. Shout out you as well.
Yeah, shout out one guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we'll see you guys next pod. And it was
All right,
always,
y'all.
as always, it was a great one, gentlemen.
All right, y'all.
All right, talk to you guys later.
Of course.